What is up, brothers? It's International Passport here again for yet another classic live stream. This is going to be a classic. As you know, we have the two body bag legends, Mr. Tony Berry and Mr. Theo WAF. So welcome both Tony and Theo, and welcome to the live stream chat. Before I go any further, I want to say a huge shout out to my old subscribers for the support over the years. You know who you are. You've been here since 2017 when I first started this passport movement. So brothers who have been there from the start, I see you. I appreciate you. We are only going to get bigger. And shout out to my new subscribers. Welcome aboard the International Passport movement. Before I go any further, please hit the like button. Please cash up. Please super chat. And on that note, shout out to Michael Contave for the £7.31 cash app. Thank you, bro. Straight away, the brother is supporting. Appreciate that, bro. So let's carry on to the live stream. So, brothers, in this live stream, as you can see in the title, me, Theo, and Tony are going to break down how to actually deal with your first feminine foreign woman after dating the horrible, evil, disgusting, wicked, and bad evil woman in the West. And why have I made this live stream? If you were born during the 60s, 70s, or 80s, or 90s, you are most likely dealing with a horrible masculine woman. Or one or two, or even your whole life. Let's keep it real, brothers. So when you first get your first feminine woman, it will be a shock to you. It definitely will be. You start thinking, what's going on here? Is this a real woman? Am I tripping? Am I in a dream right now, brothers? No. The problem is you. You are the problem. You've lived in the West your whole life. You've adopted the feminist mannerisms of America and the UK, and it's rubbed off on you, unfortunately. So in this live stream, Tony and Theo will speak on their solution as to how to deal with feminine women, and they will also speak about masculine women they dealt with in the West and how that skewed their perception and how they changed from dealing with masculine women to feminine women. But before we speak about that, Tony Berry, Theo, can you please introduce yourself to the whole panel? And we'll go on from there, brothers. Starting with Tony Berry.
Yes, brothers, what's going on, man? And excuse me, I'm here in my garage. I might go back up to the office because I forgot I got some noise in here sometimes. So hi, I'm Tony Berry. I'm a software engineer here in the Seattle area, brothers. I've been on this platform for a minute. I enjoy coming up here, especially talking up here with IP and Theo and Jay Bones and a lot of guys on the panel, man. Jay Takeshi, Sean Camp, Sean M. I can go on and on. But I like to get up here, brothers, because I like to help brothers out, man. I like to learn, and I also give any assistance I can to brothers to make brothers have a better life. So that's what I'm here for.
Thank you, Tony. Carry on, Theo.
So myself, I'm an IT cloud architect working with mainly AWS platforms, Azure. I've been doing IT cloud architecture since Japan. That's actually where I started my career. I've been now back in the United States 11 years. I was also married to a Japanese woman, very aware of the dating scene in Japan, how it works, and how to deal with real feminine women. I've dated feminine women all over the world. Strange that they're absent in America. I wonder why. So that's who I am. I'm known in the manosphere. That's it. That's good enough for me.
Thank you for that, brothers. So let's crack on. Brothers, can you speak about your experience in when you first dealt with your first feminine woman and how that was a shock to you after dealing with masculine women in the West? Tony, Theo, you can go first. I think you spoke about that briefly before the stream started. How was that for you, Theo? And let's go on from there, brother.
I would say first, my experience with dating in America was always that I was friend zoned. And what you would see is the girl talking to me, I would be like her emotional pillow, and I would know everything about her dreams, her aspirations, and she would be out banging some other guy, particularly a guy who was, as far as I was concerned, worthless, didn't care about her, didn't know who she was at all, and I was sitting back like, what the heck? I couldn't figure this one out. And then when I was in Russia, I dated my first feminine woman. And it was amazing. It was like in 1 week, we started dating, and it was like I knew who she was, I knew her dreams, and she wanted to date me. She didn't want to date a jerk. She wanted to date me, and I started dating, and I was like, wait a minute, like what just happened? I had to sit back. I did not know what to do. Honestly, I was 20 years old, and I was like, I don't know. What if am I in the Twilight Zone? So I'll go ahead. That's a good start for me. Go ahead, Tony.
Yeah, so my experience, man, was my first feminine woman I dated was a Thai girl. I just joined the Air Force, man. I was a young buck, 18, 17, 18-year-old. And I met this girl from Thailand, man, on base. She was working in the chow hall where we used to eat, the guys would eat. And I was just blown away, man. I wasn't used to that. I was just used to, being from Philly, women all up in your face, daring you to do this, daring you to do that. And I really, honestly, guys, I failed on that relationship. I was in a relationship with her for, I'd say, about 6 or 7 months. I'd say more like 8 months. I think, yeah, because I met her in like right when I got there. So I met her like September of that year, and then the following June we were done. She came down to Vegas with me lived with me for a couple months. We were young, man, but we were trying to hook it up because she was working there. And it just didn't hit off because I just didn't know how to act. I was like, oh my goodness, what am I supposed to do? I didn't realize that because I was jealous, man. I was getting all jealous because I was like, hey, she looks so good, and everybody was trying to hit on her, and I'd see why, because she was a feminine, beautiful woman, and I just didn't know how to handle that. So that was my first experience with feminine women, man. It was bad. It was a failure. I was done with that.
And that's very sad to hear, Tony and Phil, particularly Tony's case, right? Biology dictates that men should be masculine and women should be feminine. So a feminine woman coming into your life should be easy, should be normal, should fit like a puzzle, right? But because we grew up in America, because we grew up in the UK, the dynamic between a real man and a real woman isn't there. The West has tried to tell women to be more masculine and men be more feminine. So take all the woman's baggage. If she slept with 50 guys, it's okay. You're not a real man if you can't handle a woman who has slept around with 50 guys. All that nonsense. You're not a real man if you can't handle a woman that's feisty, that's got attitude, and all that nonsense, right? But when you first get that feminine woman, you're shocked because from a teenager to your early 20s, you've dated the same woman with the same mentality. So, Theo, question to you, Theo. How did you actually come to terms that I am dealing with a feminine woman? I've got to change how I think and how I do things, because I'm assuming that it went very wrong with you when you first got your first feminine girlfriend, Theo, the Russian girl, Ukrainian girl. Speak on that, Theo.
I wouldn't say it went wrong. I would say while I was dating her, the first thing I recognized what the problem was within me. And it had to be something with my socialization, my upbringing in the West. And there was no way that she was going to change. Like, she was feminine 24/7, constantly. Like, it was not going away. And what I recognized was that I needed to be more masculine immediately and be leader, take charge, and change how I deal with women. And that's exactly what I did. So I remember our first date together. I took her to a Korean restaurant in St. Petersburg, and I just sat there talking to her, and she was absolutely wonderful. And then when I was walking out of the restaurant, she put her arm around my arm. She wanted me to walk her to the station. And I was looking at her, I was like, are you kidding me? And then I just told myself, I said, you be masculine, go full on male. Like, whatever masculine you think you can do it. Don't be a jerk, but just be masculine, leader. And basically what I was, in today's term, I was telling myself, maintain frame. And that's what I did. And we had some of the best dates with her. So I'll let Tony continue from there.
Go on, Tony.
Yeah. I that first one I failed miserably. And then I started, started figuring out the game. The next person I went out with, fortunately for me, she was from the Philippines, and I was 18 at the time, but this woman was 32. So she was 14 years older than me, and it was a perfect relationship. We were just like, okay, well, let's just see how this goes, right? So, but like Leo said, I just told myself, I said, look, I got to be masculine. I got to be masculine, no matter what. I got to be masculine. And I noticed the feeling. It was a feeling of confusion at first. I was like, is this? Am I being too mean, or am I being too this, or you're not mean, but like, am I being too much? It was kind of confusing. As an 18-year-old male, starting to get into his body, starting to get into his mind, into his maturity. I was like, is this right? And the reason why that relationship went well is because I was masculine. And when it ended because I was masculine, and it ended the way I wanted it to end. It was just a 4 month stint. I was going overseas. I was like, okay, thank you, goodbye, see you, wham, bam, thank you, ma'am, and that's when I started to take off.
Fantastic points there, brothers. Hold on, brothers. Shout out to Conrad Grant for the £3.65 Cash App. He says, big up to the legendary Tony, Theo, and IP. Thanks for that, brother. Much appreciated, bro. Shout out to Sean Camp for the £10.97 Cash App. Thank you, bro, for the support. Much appreciated, brother. Shout out to Joshua Epps for the $4.99 super chat. He says, the GOATs. Thank you, bro. Much appreciated, brother. Both Tony and Theo are indeed GOATs in this space. Yes, indeed. Shout out to Naeem Abdul-Ayad for the $5 super chat. Heat Storm Stream. Yes, indeed, brother. Thank you. And shout out to Frank Harris for the $10 super chat. Another regular supporter. Thank you, Frank. Theo and Tony, thank you so much for your experiences so far. Can you define to us what you believe should be masculine traits that men should be displaying when dealing with feminine women for the first time? Is it decision making? Is it having an authoritative figure? Is it being straightforward? Is it letting her know that you are the man, you wear the shoes? Speak on that, brothers, because I think it's very important to define how masculine we should be, ultra masculine, what we need to do. Go on, brothers, starting with Theo.
Okay, so when you actually meet a really feminine woman, it's really easy just to straight out fall in love with her. And you, especially if you've never seen a feminine woman before, you really want to get attached. So the first thing you have to do is not attach. Like, not treat her badly, but you have, in your head, you have to be like, you're not going to marry this woman like tomorrow. And the next part is you have to continue on with your life, no matter how feminine she is, no matter how wonderful she is. And she's going to be absolutely wonderful. And then when you talk with her, you can't allow her beauty and femininity to control you. And that is a really tough one, because you're looking at her, and especially if she's younger, like, you're actually looking at years, possibly of years relationship, like children, like long term, and that's in your head, and you can't think that way. You have to think about right here and right now. And kind of like what you're saying, you're making decisions, and you decided to do X, Y, Z today, and you're telling her, hey, I want you a part of this. This is where you're maintaining frame. This is actually a hard thing to do without a prior male trainer. Like dad. You need dad for this, honestly speaking.
Yeah, wow. Yeah, he's right, bro. He's right. And what you'll find yourself doing is, as you start moving further along in the relationship you start getting used to feminine females, you're going to fall back to being a simp once in a while, because you're still trying to figure things out. And so, but yeah, as far as being masculine, you just have to be sure of yourself. It's all about confidence. It's all about not asking her where she want to go. Say, look, we're going this place. We're going there. You guys know me. My big thing is, don't ask them nothing. Tell them where you're going, right? We're going here. We're going to eat over here. And then as you get further along in the road, you can say, do you want to go here or there? You've already picked both places. You're just giving them a choice, so they feel like they're making the choice, but they're really not. You've already made the choice before they make the choice. See what I'm saying? Because you're fine either way, right?
Mm.
You want to go to the game, or you want to go to the baseball game, you want to go to the football game, or whatever you do want to do. You want to go to movies, or you want to go to the theater, right? I mean, to the museum. You've already picked out the date. They just have to decide which one they want to go, and you're already knowing where you want to go. That is confidence. That shows them that you're masculine, that because they feel like you're leading the way. You have to lead. It's not a sense of you fighting. A lot of guys think that to be masculine, you got to fight another dude. You got to show up, show how strong you are. A lot of times, that's not part of being masculine. That's not part of being masculine at all. You have to show restraint. That's about being masculine, because restraint is going to keep you and your family alive.
Whew. Whoa. Damn, Bill, Tony, thank you for that, brothers. Incredible points there. Shout out to Derek Featherstone for the $99 super chat. Thank you, Derek. Much appreciated, bro. I want to touch upon the point where, Theo, you said a dad is very important. And I agree with that, Theo. Because unfortunately, there's a high single mother rate within the Black community in the US and in the UK too. So boys are growing up without a dad. They're growing up with a mom that holds both the masculine and the feminine frame within the household, right? So the mom is doing everything. The mom is masculine. The mom's some sort of superwoman, in that term. She's a strong feminine superwoman, like they put in the 50s with those posters with the showing their arms out, strong woman. So they believe that kind of woman is the only one that exists out there for them. And any woman that's different from that is sort of like, what's going on here? Is she an alien? Is she some sort of supernatural being? Is she actually a human being? And I think that's a good point there, Theo. Dads are very important, and it's very sad to see that within our community there's a high single mother rates. So, Theo, what's your advice to those brothers who grew up in single mother households? How do they break out the matrix? How do they actually break that mentality that your mum is not some sort of god? She ain't the best woman out there. They're a better woman than your mum. Sorry to say.
Okay, so one thing that I highly recommend is that you find a functional family with a masculine father, and you start to graft yourself in that family. And this is what I did when I was in high school. And this was actually very good for me to go to high school. However, the damage was done inside of me inside my family, in that both of my parents taught me to be a simp. Oh. And I had embraced simp very highly. So, but I started questioning it. So I was like, why is it that these girls are crying on my shoulder and then getting smashed by other guys? This is weird. This is not the way it's supposed to be. So when I was abroad, with her name was Anna. When I was with Anna, I recognized very quickly within the first week that most of my upbringing that I had with dating in the West needed to be thrown out. And it was in particular, how do I deal with this feminine woman? So it's not like I see somebody listening to this. It's not saying, oh, beat her. No, that's not it at all. It's more like, like, if she wants to date somebody else, let her go. And she wants to cry on your shoulder, get rid of her. Like, go, bye, and you go date the other guy. That's the first division. That's what you have to do. And then you have to say, I'm only going to deal with women who are dating me. That's it. These are the kind of the first steps you really have to take. My parents didn't even teach me this kind of stuff at all.
Yeah, same here. I mean, and I grew up, I know my parents were married, but then they got divorced when I was 4 years old. So for the next 12 years, I was with my mother, and I literally became a simp. Like I said, I remember mentioning this before. I learned female financing. I learned everything to do with the female, like how to make the female happy, how to make her rich, how to make her buy her things. I never learned how to be, take care of myself. So I'd go out in high school, I'd go out with these women that were like falling along the same lines. And then when I first started meeting feminine women, I didn't know how to act, because I was like, whoa, what am I supposed to do? Because all my life, this is how I was taught. So like Theo said, you got to break down that Western mentality when it comes to dating. You have to break it down. we grow up feeling sorry for women because what you see on TV? Oh, the poor her, the poor her, poor her. Oh, that woman. Oh, a woman was beat up. Oh, my old woman was old. My woman. And you never see nothing about the poor guy. So when you're dating, at first you're feeling sorry for these women. That is the worst thing you can do, fellas, is feel sorry for a female and then, oh, well, I guess I'll marry her because I feel sorry for her. That ain't the way, oh, I'll go out with her because I feel sorry for her. No, you don't need her. If she's not on your purpose, if she's not going to do what you need to do, you don't need her. You got to let her go. And at first, you're going to feel uncomfortable with that because you're accustomed to the West. But once you start understanding how feminine women work, how it works in the feminine world, it's probably how it works to be a man, to be masculine, you will not have any apologies whatsoever when you kick them to the curb and say, well, see you, because we don't match. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yes. Very important not to simp too much. In the black community, in my opinion, is a huge simp factory.
Yes.
Honestly, simps are being made every day within our own community. Let's keep it real, right? Because there's no father figure in the community. The mom's prioritizing her needs. Do this for me. I'm a woman here, so protect me. Blah blah blah. And then he goes up to be a simp, and then he gets finessed by a woman throughout all the years until he actually finds out that, oh wow, this woman I'm dating from Japan, she ain't acting like my mom. Why is she so different? How do I handle her? How do I actually date her? Because right now I'm out of my depth right here. And it's very important for brothers in live stream chat to understand that it's gonna be a hard change for you, brothers. Honestly, it's gonna be very hard for you. It's sort of like someone who drinks alcohol their whole lives and goes, is it cold turkey?
Yep.
That's how it's gonna be like, brother.
Well, the IP, and I want to say this too. I know that you did a beautiful stream, man, a few weeks ago. You always do good streams, but the one where you just came clean with everything, and you said there was 2 females in your life earlier that you wish you'd have been with, and Theo jumped on that too later on. Another streamer saying that it was a female that he had thought he should have been with, and honestly, brothers, that was because we were raised as simps. And I'm not saying that you were simping because you like those particular females. All I'm saying is that I came back with the opinion of, it's okay because that you didn't get with those females, because now that you're mature, now that you're a man, now that you're well into your manhood, Theo's well into his manhood, IP, you're right into your manhood now. Now you can look back and say, you know what? Yeah, she was good, but you wouldn't have known that if you never became a man. You wouldn't have known that. And that now I always look back at that. I'll always say that this because you don't know, like Theo said, we were raised as simps, right? And like you said, we were raised as simps. So we didn't have a clue what was good and what was bad. What was good? What was good for us at the time we were in college and we saw these women that we thought we should have been with.
Very
so
speak on that, Theo.
The way I was educated was that what was good for me was good for the woman. So identify what's good for the woman and follow it.
Yes.
And essentially there was no me. There was no idea of self. And that's how I dated in the West. And this was a disaster. And I had no idea how bad it was. So when I was dating Anna in Russia, I understood very quickly that I needed to have a self because it wasn't going to work without it. I had to be someone to talk with her and to do things with her. Now, fortunately, because I was American and I had a lot more money than her, it was easy for me to pay for dates. And I could date with her almost every single day. And I could always maintain that frame and learn about her, but I learned about her in a very different way than I would have learned from Western women. And so, to tell you the truth, I was absolutely happy, but I still didn't know exactly what I should do. I was going to go to Sorbonne the next year. I knew that. And so, I was 20 years old. I couldn't execute on her. That's what I thought. I couldn't execute. Looking back, this was one of the worst mistakes I made in my entire life. And if I had had male frame and I had understood how to use the system in America and how to use finances better, and if I had my mind straight, I would have straight out married her because she was great. And I would have taken her to France with me and just kept on having a life. There was no reason not to do that I had plenty of friends who got married between the ages of 16 and 22, and they're still together. So the opportunity was there. I was not ready because I was trained to be listening to women, have no self, give them what they wanted, and through that process, I would receive happiness, what I wanted. But that was actually a gynocentric way of thinking about relationships. That's how a woman thinks, not a man.
Yes.
And I had no clue what was going on. This is what it is. I was in front of her, but my brain was not. My brain was far away.
See, and that what Theo was saying, and like me, being married 3 times, it's like, see, that's the thing is you get into a situation where you're not being masculine. A lot of times, what happens when relationships break up, it's because you simped out. I mean, literally, or either you 2 things: either you're going to simp out, or you're going to be masculine, and they're not going to like it.
Mm-hmm.
See, and here's my take on this: if you simp out, and like let's say when you're in a relationship, the woman says, "I don't want to be with you anymore because I don't like the way you do this." You're going to simp, right? You're going to change because you hitting it. You like the way it is. And then you're going to simp. All that does is that's just delays the inevitable. It's not going to cement your relationship. It's going to delay the inevitable. The only thing that will cement your relationship or a relationship is when you put your foot down and you do 100% masculine. Then they're either going to be like, oh, he's a man. I got a man here, and they're going to stay, or they're going to leave because they don't like having the man. But if you simp, because here's the thing: once a female says she's out of here, once those words leave her mouth and she says, "I'm thinking about getting divorced" or "I'm thinking about breaking up," it's too late. No matter what, no matter how long you simp to keep her for 1, 2, 3 years, eventually she's done. You're done with her. So you might as well man up at that moment and say, "Okay, great, we're done." It's gonna hurt, but you got to say we're done and throw that masculinity out there. That's the only way you're going to avoid those issues.
Yep. Correct.
Yep.
Oh man, yeah, I definitely agree with that, brothers. Shout out to Jay Bones for the $2 super chat. He says, "Confident man is confident anywhere." Marcus Garvey, yes, indeed. Thanks for that, Jay Bones. Theo, you said a very good point there. Knowing yourself. When you first meet that foreign woman, that feminine woman, you start to know yourself. You start to figure out things about yourself, and you start to actually mold yourself to become a better person. I sort of see it like knowledge of self and actually, what's it called? Coming of age. I think that might be a good term for it. Coming of age in dating, in the dating scene, and then it kind of reminds me of the film Lost in Translation. You might have seen it, Theo.
I love that. That's my favorite movie.
Is it?
Yes.
Yeah. So it's sort of like when you go to Japan, you start to feel like, okay, what I've learned in the West, it's not really the end all be all. There are things out there different that actually align to my ideas and my thoughts. But it's about me finding that inner self and having that coming of age. Do you see it that way, Theo? Or am I bugging out here? Am I going too philosophical here, brother?
Let me explain it. The way that I thought of it is that I had to have no self at all in a relationship. And then it would be through making a woman happy that I would gain an idea of self. So my idea of self would be founded or rooted upon her happiness. This is entirely gynocentric. Now, I did have an idea of self before I ever started dating, but that was to be suppressed before I started dating her because it was bad. Because that was like sexist or something like that. When in reality, it was entirely what I needed in order to maintain a relationship. I had to be a man and actually express masculine traits in order to go forward. I didn't understand that. I didn't understand that real reality. What I kept on seeing were men who were kept on being emasculated, who were simping out, and the focus was on the woman. And if the man was happy at all, it was only due because of a woman's suffering. So therefore, I couldn't be happy. This was messed up. This was entirely messed up, but I didn't understand it. I thought something was wrong. So when I'm with my Russian girlfriend, I'm seeing this for the first time, and I'm seeing a gap because I need to present myself first, and I'm putting myself all the way back. So how do I bring myself forward? And I don't know how to do this. I don't know. It's impossible. It's like almost impossible. So I'm kind of faking it with her because she's putting herself forward first, full feminine, unapologetic.
See, that happens, guys, because, and you mentioned, I hung on that word that you said, faking it, right? It's just like you being in a relationship and you trying to simp, but you know you're a man, so you faking being a simp to keep the relationship. You know, you see guys out there all the time. They be hustling. Oh man, I gotta get back home, man. I gotta get home. Oh man, I gotta get home. You know, oh yeah, she's waiting for me. Oh no, I gotta go pick this up for my girl. Every 5 minutes, oh no, I gotta go do this for my girl. Because they're all about making her happy. And they feel like you know how our grandfathers were toward their women, our great grandfathers were to their women. You see them sometimes, they hard up. And you be like, man, he's a mean guy. No, he wasn't a mean guy. He was being a man. And he knew his relationship and she knew her relationship with him. They knew what they had together. It is not my concern how their relationship was. It is not my concern. It's not up to me to go say, hey, grandpa, I think you're being too hard on grandma. No, that's not none of my business. I'm a child. That is their relationship. They got into what they got into. And that's what I like about Japan. You could be in the bar and Japanese, like I saw this American arguing with his Korean wife in the bar in Japan. It was my first experience seeing this. And the Japanese did not stop their drinks. They did not stop communication and nothing. They could care less. It wasn't to the rescue like in America. Hey, man, you all right? Woman, lady, you all right? No, they could care less because they knew that the next day that same couple would probably be back in that same bar kissing and hugging. A lot of countries I've been to and lived into, they would never get involved between a man and his woman. Never.
I agree. I agree 100%. And I didn't understand that either. I thought I was supposed to get up and do something to protect the woman, and that's not it. Let the relationship ride out because for the most part, they're just figuring things out themselves, and it's just fine. I don't need to be the simp enforcer. I totally didn't understand that. Nah.
You can't be, Theo, too. You know why? Because look at us. You're pretty soon. Eventually you're gonna get married, and eventually you're gonna have children. Now, me, I'm gonna have another child. So now I got my wife and my kids. Why would I simp protect somebody else and get killed? Because now a lot of guys are getting killed. Look, with this pandemic, people are on edge a lot more than they used to be. A spark can turn into a forest fire nowadays. That's what we say in the Northwest. It ain't like before where you just bump into somebody and you can say, oh man, excuse me, and that's it. No, you bump into somebody now, you can get shot. So why am I going to go rescue some female just because I'm trying to be a hero? I hear noise with my family, I go the other way. I don't get involved. And that's why I'm saying, men, as a man, you have to learn how to have restraint. You have to look at the big picture and say, you know what? What is going to save my family? What is going to preserve my life to take care of my family? Is me getting in a fight with this dude to save his woman going to preserve my life? No. What's going to preserve my life and my family's happiness is me getting my family out of this place, getting in the car and going home.
Brothers, you're getting $100 million worth of game right here. Not even game, intel and knowledge that you won't get anywhere else, brothers. These are veterans passing down knowledge that we weren't taught by our dads in some cases. We weren't taught this definitely in schools or in college or in the media. This is the kind of thing that people need in their lives to save them. Thank you again, both Theo and Tony. You're dropping mad game here. And brothers, why are the likes so low? We have over 80 people watching, but only 61 likes. If we don't get the likes up within the next few seconds, I will pause the stream and I'll start singing. And trust me, brothers, my singing is pretty bad. And look at Theo's face. Yep, I don't want to start singing, brothers. So please, let's get the likes up, brothers, or I'll start singing some old school Kanye West. You know, brothers don't want that, okay? Shout out to Jay Bones for the $2 super chat. It says Tony and Theo are talking. Be silent, pen and paper. Listen, yes, listen, brothers. Get the pen out, get the paper out, and write down this information. You won't get it anywhere else, brothers. We're preparing you to have a great life. When you meet that perfect woman, I want everything to go smoothly for you. I don't want no problems, no issues. I want you to have it very easy, like Tony has. That's why Tony is 59, but looks like he's 40. You know, he's got a good
Thanks, brothers.
wife. There you go, brothers.
Thanks, brothers.
Shout out to Wealth Engineering for the $2 Canadian super chat. He says, remember to cash up or super chat your questions. Yes, indeed, brothers. Please cash up, super chat your questions. If you have any questions for Theo and Tony, and brothers, please send through cash apps and super chats as well to support this powerful movement. That's greatly appreciated. Thank you, brothers. And Tony, your point there is incredible, bro. I feel like, yeah, being a masculine man is not about showing that, oh yeah, I'm the tough guy and making everyone aware and being loud, going around saying, yeah, I'm a big guy, I know all this, I'm a smart guy. It's actually about having restraint, having confidence in yourself, not actually be caping for everybody, trying to save everybody in your life or your friends. It's about making the right moves, assessing the situation and critically analyzing your whole environment and seeing what's good, and what's bad. So why would you jump in a fight when two couples are arguing? That's not your business. The guy, he might have a gun, he might have a
Yes.
knife, and that's the end of your life. So you step back. I'm sorry for both of them, but my life is important, and that's why SYSBM here comes in, brothers. SYSBM is save yourself, black man, and that's putting yourself first. Health, spirituality, riches, physicality. Put yourself first, brothers.
And you gotta be careful too, because a lot of what will happen is, see, black women, BWs, they look at us as simps no matter what. They assume that a man is a simp. And not just by BWs, all Western women assume that we're simp when they first come up to us. But they are taken aback when we behave differently. Like, they will try to get you in a situation with them. Hey, see what he did to me, or see what she did to me. And I won't even say nothing to them. I'll just act like they're not even there, because I'm not getting involved. And I have my gun on me when I go out. But why do I need to put myself in a situation where I need to shoot a gun? I don't have to. It's all about being wise and being restraining yourself and knowing that your life is not in danger initially. Why would you put yourself in a situation where your life is now in danger? Because you walked in there. If you end up killing that man, you could still do time because you actually walked into that situation. Yeah, by law, as a citizen of the United States, I don't know how it is in the UK. If you see somebody else's life in danger, you do have the obligation to help. You can help that person. Yes, you can. But if you feel like yourself is in danger and you're in danger in the life of your family, you don't have to. You can just go and leave. And I choose to leave all the time.
Yeah. Yep. And even
let me comment.
Go on, Theo.
I want to comment on that. So making that decision and understanding the situation are key, and you cannot compromise at all. You have to be honest about it. And this was something that was difference between me becoming a man and being as a simp. Because as a simp, I would recognize what I needed to do, but I would acquiesce because the women had something else that they thought they should do. So I was like, okay, I'm a man. I should acquiesce to what you want or what you think it is. And always it was failure. Always. The women chose paths of death and destruction. So what I did is I sat back when I was 38 years old, when I saw what it was going on, like how bad things were. I said, okay, no more simping. I'm going to choose what's necessary for me to be successful and to protect myself first above all. And if women choose a different way and they fail, I'm not saving them. And when I did that, suddenly my life started changing. And I started making better moves. And I started, like, my downward spiral into like oblivion and death ended. And I started stabilizing. And I was like, it's all about the women. Like, get rid of them. And this is when I was really starting to identify and remove gynocentric thinking from my head as being a mental cancer. But I was like, get rid of it. Where is it? Remove it, because it's only bad. And remember, if you suffer as a man, she'll say, I hope you get over it. I hope somebody helps you.
Yes.
There's somebody out there to help that. Warm fuzzies. But if she suffers, you're expected to do everything for her. And if you don't, you're not a man. you're sexist, blah, 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 blah. And I sat back and I was like, at the end, I was like, if you end up being homeless, better you than me.
Yep. Yes. No, I agree with Theo on that 100%. And that's why, and I want to give a special shout out to Theo while I'm here too. Theo is the reason why I'm up here on this platform too, because I watched that one stream that he did a few months ago. And I was like, this brother's he's got wisdom. And that's why I got up here. That's why I'm up here. So I love you, man. I can't wait to meet you. And IP the same, man. But I just wanted to say that out to you guys, man, because you brothers just don't know how much you mean in my life. But here's the thing, man. I want to say with this, because he was cracking me up because this stuff is so true. You got to think about yourself. You got to be selfish. It is about, you know what? It is about us. It is about you as a man. Because the minute you get off of that, it's not about you. You are going to make a lot of mistakes that could end up getting you killed. Literally out there. End up having you lose everything you got. You know what I'm saying? You got to understand. You are your own self. And it's beautiful. It's a beautiful thing to watch a man actually grow into a man. That is actually a beautiful thing to see. I'm watching my son. He's only 8 years old. But I'm watching him mature as every year. And I can already see it's going to be beautiful watching him become a man. It's just going to be a wonderful thing. Knowing that I molded him, that I raised him. It's a beautiful thing to even, when you see, when I was in the military and I seen guys grow into men, it was a beautiful thing seeing them grow into a man.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Thank you, brothers. And I want to make this point as well. In the West, we are taught to be on the woman's program, on the wife's program, on your girlfriend's program. Everything she does, you must support her and abide with her by it till the death. You must be on her program. We're taught that way. We are encoded that way from primary school, which is I think middle school in America, to high school to college. Be on her program, and if you have your own program as a man, she has that choice to step out, and don't force her to be on her program. But when it's abroad, she's on your program. She's on your steps. Your plan. But in the West, is a whole different dynamic, and that's how the simp culture comes in play. That's how a lot of men become very feminized. Because they're doing everything for their woman. They're spending for her. They're spending. They're sending money to her throughout college. They're paying for her college fees, her course fees, because you're on her program. But she'll never pay for your course fees. She'll never send you to college. She'll never buy you a car. But you got brothers out there buying women whole cars, BMWs, Mercedes, And then that's why when you meet your first feminine woman that doesn't require all of that, and when you tell her, "Hey, babe, I'll pay for your university fees," she's like, "Why are you paying for my fees? You don't need to do that." And you start thinking, "Whoa, what? But I did that for my ex-girlfriend. Why can't I do it for you?" He's like, "No, but I'm different. You don't need to do all that for me." That's when you start breaking out your matrix. That's when you start experiencing that, oh, wow, it's different out here. She's feminine, doesn't ask for much. Is just grateful that you're in her life. And then you can bring her onto your program and see how your life will benefit for the better. Ain't that right, brothers?
Yes, and the thing that you got to be careful, I just want to say this, is of course, you're going to run into the right woman, but if you run into a bad one that knows that you are trying to get used to being a man, but you were coming from a simp environment, they will turn that on you, and they will end up ruining you because they'll be like, "Oh, you're actually really a simp." See, that's why you got to be careful when you get out there and you start getting to these feminine women. It depends. Most of them, yes, they're going to be feminine. They're going to stick to it. But the ones that come to the States that, are getting into American or UK society, if they see you a simp, they're going to go right through it and they're going to rip your heart out. They're going to rip you apart. And they're going to take full advantage of that.
I totally 100% agree with this. And so when I saw this kind of problem in myself, particularly when I started changing, I was 38 years old and I was single. I was in grad school, and like my life was collapsing. It was a very bad situation. And I started making mental rules. And I said, there's only certain kind of women who will get through the filter. And I'm going to make this filter really strong for my own defense, my own protection, because I know these types of women are going to come through and they're going to be able to identify, I used to be a simp, exactly the way Tony said, and they're going to go through the historical Theodore and try to bring that back. And I said, that's not going to be possible. So I just wrote filter up. Like for example is no single mothers. she's a single mother. It's a wrap. It's not that I talk with her and something happens and she rationalizes with me or something. It's that conversation dies right then and there. Oh, you're a single mother? Bye. That's it. Over. There's other classifications of women as well that I just say, okay, if you have certain things in your past, our conversation ends right now, and we don't continue because nothing's gonna happen. And if she says like, well, I don't even hear it. She's talking to herself. I'm gone. Yeah. It's over. So that was one of my first stages was that kind of mental training as I was taking the Chrism capsule very slowly, but also identifying why my liberalism and my simping had destroyed me so badly. Like, where should I be in life compared to where I am due to my decisions with women and my simping with women? And I was like, my goodness, the gap is huge. It's like I should be a multimillionaire. Instead, I'm basically in grad school barely making $2,000 a month. Okay, this is on me. Figure it out. Go from here.
See, Theo's right, because that's the thing. He hit it on the spot, brothers. Once you realize your masculinity, you're going to notice something. You're going to start making more money. That happened to me, man. I was right before I met my wife, man. I was dating these women, man. I had this one Japanese girl. And I did the stupidest, simplest thing that I ever could do in my life. I just come out of the divorce. I was still vulnerable. And I was in Hawaii. I met this girl at a club. And I remember meeting her. I was dating all these other girls, tourist girls, but I still had something for this girl. I only met her that first night, but I was so simped out because I thought that my masculinity is what destroyed my marriage. That's what that's what happens. When you get too masculine, remember I was telling you earlier, a marriage is going to end if you simp too much, or simp at all, not too much, or if you are masculine and if they don't want to be on the page. Well, that particular woman didn't want to be on my page. So I thought, oh, wait, maybe it was me. Maybe I made a mistake. Maybe I need to be nice to women. I was nice to everybody, overly nice, to the point where I'm buying people $800 shoes, and I only met them in a club one night. And here I am paying for this woman's plane ticket to come over to the States with me from Japan. And it didn't, and I blew all my morals out the window. She came from a broken family. Her parents had just got divorced. And this woman was trying to take all she could from me. And I was giving her a lot of money just because I was simping. And she could care less, was treating me like a dog because she saw right through it. She saw the history of the simp. But the minute I became a man, the minute I got back on track, which took me 6 months after that divorce, I got back on track. It was time to get out. Then she saw a totally different person. It's like, no, you got to go. I'm not giving you nothing. And that's when she started respecting me. But guess what? It was too late. I kicked her butt to the curb. And ever since then, I've always been back on my track of being a man. And I realized you got to stay on that track because the minute you become a simp, you're going to fail and you're not going to make a dime.
Yep. And I want to add to this point as well, brothers, that ties into both of your points. It's very important for brothers to have an abundance mindset. I feel like when brothers get their first girlfriend, right, in the West, they do everything to keep her because, again, it's hard for men to date in the West. We know that the top 20% of men are smashing all the chicks, right? So if you fall in that 80% of men, you ain't getting no chicks. So you're getting very small chicks. So when you finally get one, you start simping too much. You're giving her all your money. You're doing everything you can to keep her because she's the first girlfriend you ever had in a long time, or even your first girlfriend ever. But you need to understand that there's more to Keisha, there's more to black women than Keisha from the block. There's more women out there that are abroad. It's not just in your community or in your country. You need to travel, and that's when you start getting rid of that. That's when you start having that abundance mindset. Plenty of women are out there for brothers. You need to just get your passport and find those women. And that's how I think the whole simp culture comes into play, because these men don't have the experience with women in their own country. The top guys are smashing all the great women. They get the first girlfriend, they do everything to keep her, and it goes very wrong. Wouldn't you agree, brothers?
Yes, I totally agree. And I was going to say, on the flip side of that, a man that's coming from a feminist society to the United States, you see him all the time. they have a horrible time with these women. You see them go through women a lot because they're trying to find that feminine women that they left back home in, say, Croatia or Africa or South America. They love the American women. They love the big bubbly blonde. Look, every female in the world wants to be a big blonde with big boobs. Every female wants to be like that around the world. They want to be that blonde hair, blue-eyed female. They know they can't, but they want to be that. They aspire to be that. They don't realize that has a very short window. That blonde, bubbly blonde only looks good for about 3 or 4 years. And after that, she's going south quick. But that's what they come to America to date. You see them, guys from South America dating these blondes. And the next you see them broke up. And you say, what happened? Well, man, she argued too much. She too loud. She too this, she too that. No, what you meant to say is she was never feminine. That's why you broke up with her. And then when you school them on that, they're like, oh, I never realized that. And you know what they end up doing? They end up going back home, meeting a girl, and bringing her to the States if they ever live in the States and marrying her and being happy. And that happens a lot.
No, I'm gonna comment on that. This is something I noticed as well. And what I was noticing is that the foreign guys are coming to America, didn't like the women, said that they were horrible, were smashing them from time to time, but did not want relationships with them. Were going back and getting real women and bringing them over to the States, and then they were having real marriages. And a comment on the little troll that we just had on there, the idea that it's the men who are the lames, that's why the women aren't with the guys, that's what keeps men simping. And that's what keeps the structure of the simp man being the emotional support for the woman as she's getting smashed by a jerk. Yes. And that continues on and on. And that has no benefit at all to the simp. So the simp needs to stop doing that. But you see how easy it is for the culture and everybody else to say that the man needs to keep on simping. They just keep on doing it. That's where the energy is. And no, but that's what the woman wants because she wants the attention and then she wants the excitement with the guy, like sexually. And then she wants to have like these two, if it's two different men, fine. It's for because she gets all of her emotional needs met. What you have to do is sit back and say, I don't care. I'm not going to support this woman emotionally. I'm going to step back. And if she ends up not having a relationship at all, like I have women like this, and they get older and they're single and they're having a hard time, tough. That's their responsibility. And I don't care. And that's the real path towards being a man. And
I agree with Theo 100%, man. I mean, you just have to let them go because see, women, they want it all. You guys already know in the West, these women want it all. They want the Gucci bag, they want the Lexus, they want the man that's fine, they can cry the shoulder on. They want the guy to screw. Like in Japan, sometimes you get these women, they want the Neshi-kun, the Ashi-kun, which means the guy to sleep with, the guy that they can take around with. Those women are few and far between, but they have some women like that in Japan because you know why? They know they can do that with the simp men over there. They know they can do that. It's the guys, you got to understand. When a female knows she can get away with something, if you give her an inch, she's going to take her whole yard. You don't give it to her. You have to lay down your law. You have to lay your ground down right then and there. You have to lay it down. Like Theo said, like that woman in the group, they put a beautiful woman up there, but she had a tattoo. I made a comment. I said, but she got a tattoo. And guys like, well, we can let a few tattoos go.
Nope.
If she got an R on her leg, she's out. I don't want her. Because that R can turn into a flower on the leg. That flower can turn into a snake on the back. That snake on the back can turn into a check right book on the front. People can't just stop at one tattoo. They got to keep getting more and more and more. So, you got to stick to your norms. You got to stick to what's you. When you're a man, when you truly are a man, you always stick to your game plan because you're going to die that way. I mean, I'm happy. When I die, I'm going to be black. I'm a happy man. I'm going to die. I know two things that happen when I die. I'm going to be black and I'm going to be a man. And I'm happy with those results. I mean, with the look forward to that. Trust me, I am. On my deathbed, I'll be like, I'm a man and I'm black. I'm happy. I'm going out happy. So, right?
Yeah. No, I 100% agree with you. You have to make that decision. and you have to say like, this is the boundaries. This is what I'm going to decide on. This is what's right and wrong, and I'm going to live with the consequences. And if the woman doesn't like it, tough. I'm going to keep on going. I've got my mission, and I have what I've decided to do in life. And the woman isn't even a priority. I'm going to just keep on going. And you'll see woman after woman think that's sexist. And I'm like, if you think that's sexist, I don't care. And you just keep on going. That's it. I'm like, you will figure it out. And what you're going to see, guys, which is what I enjoy as I grow older, is you see women hitting the wall time and time again, not being able to get the guy. Some of them are single mothers. Some of them never reproduce. Some of them have their eggs that are stored die, and they can't get pregnant. Fried eggs. And you get to see this, you get to watch this as you get older, and you're like, why did I ever want to be on these women's train? The women's train dies. It doesn't go anywhere. It goes towards destruction and failure. And so you just sit back and watch it happen again and again. And then the women are like, oh, I can't find a guy. I'm like, tough. I don't care. Like, that's your issue. I don't. And then the big one I like is, why don't you date a woman your own age? Why do you consider someone your own age? And I'm like, well, because I like dating a woman who isn't a zombie or a corpse. And that's what
I
you
don't
are.
wake up in bed and have a woman with Ben Gay on her butt all the time. I don't want that. And I don't want a woman on menopause. I just don't want that.
No.
Why do I see? And that's the thing about these BWs. They get mad when black men have choices. Ladies, wake up. We got choices. Like E40 said, everybody got choices. We got choices. And we do. And they don't like us having choices. They want to give us their choices. They want to give us what they think is good for us. We got to have choices.
They want to determine what our choices are and our limitation. And they actually want to kind of allocate it towards us. And when I came back to Japan, this is something I noticed going on. And I was like, what's wrong with these Western women? Like, why would anybody ever go with this? And I kept on seeing Western men willingly go with this. And I'm like, you don't understand. This is your destruction. Like, what these women are doing is just using you as long as they possibly can and trying to get every single emotional and financial resource from you while they are pursuing their own agenda. You can't go with this. This isn't going to work. So I just kind of sat back and I was like, okay, I'm not a part of this. No way. No.
And you don't want to come in and save anybody else too, because you know some guys, the simps, will get in there and they'll expect you to kind of come in for them. And if I recognize a simp, I'm not getting in that game. I'm not going to get in that game with that. I'm like, no, because you know what, fellas? Simps make a lot of costly mistakes. I mean, costly. And you ever been out with somebody and they're a simp, you find out they're a simp, man, and you see the stupid stuff they do. A simp will get his butt kicked in the bar. A simp will get shot. A simp will get rolled. A simp will you end up in a situation where like, how did I get in this situation? Because you let that simp in. You got to literally, as a man, you got to recognize, you got to see, remember what I said about restraining yourself as well? You also have to recognize a simp. As a man, you have to recognize a simp. And you have to recognize a man. And it's easy when you're a man to recognize another man. And it's easy when you're a man to recognize a simp.
Great. Oh, man. Great information, brothers. Fantastic information. Brothers, I will open up the phone lines in 10 minutes. While we do that, brothers, please send through Cash App, Super Chats, support the channel. This is incredible. We've answered the question on how to cope and deal with your first feminine woman. Both Theo and Tony have given you the guideline, the framework, actually. There's a framework you can get from this video. Be masculine. Don't simp. Let her come into your program. Never be on her program like you are in the West. Because in the West, it's all skewed with, for women, and it's all benefits for women, nothing for men. I'm sick of it, but when we go abroad, we will set our own terms, set up our own community, and go SYSBM. Yes, indeed. You want to say
I was going to
Tony?
say something on that IP, one other thing, because I was looking at Theo, man, and Theo made me think about this, because I know he's a calm guy, and I just can't imagine him in that situation. Another way you be a man, right? You never argue with a female that you don't know. Ever. Ever. When they're out there in public and they're trying to get you roused up, you just walk away. You always walk away. You ignore. Women hate when you ignore them. They hate it to the bone. They would rather you get in a confrontation with them than to walk away. Walk away, man. They're beneath us. They don't even deserve. Why am I wasting my energy arguing with a female that I'm never going to screw, that I'm never going to feed, and that I'm never going to wake up in the morning to?
Yep.
And you have to always have, fellas, it's all about maintaining your manhood.
Yeah, so what the women think basically is that if you're giving them energy, negative or positive, they are benefiting. So even if it's negative, even if you're yelling at her, she still thinks she's in the driver's seat. She thinks she's doing well because you're still giving her energy and that she still has some sort of position with you. So you just have to sit back and say, okay, bye, go.
Yeah. It's just like the mentality I use is this, brothers. When they're yelling at you and you're just being calm, just imagine as you're walking, you're standing there and they're backing up as they're yelling at you. You know the way to get out of it? It's not a weak thing that you don't get back at them. Just imagine them backing up and there's a cliff behind them. And just let them keep backing up and let them keep backing up. And guess what? They're eventually going to fall off the cliff. Then you walk to the edge of the cliff and you look down and you're like, oh, okay. All right, let's go. And that's it. You go get something to eat. That's the way you have to think.
Yeah, or you read about it in the paper, or you read about it in a post that something horrible happened to her. I have friends who have situations like this, and I see their streams on social media, and I'm like, oh, that's kind of sad for you. I guess that must suck. That's your decision,
yeah, right? You're home home in your house with your wife and your kids, and you're laying in bed, you're hugging your wife, or you're sitting in the sofa, you're eating a nice meal. I mean, in the living room or dining room, whatever, and you're watching a nice movie, or you're just having a nice conversation, listening to some jazz. You're not at that. You didn't fall off that cliff. And like Leo said, you're like, oh, they fell off. Oh man. All right. Well, hey, what you want to eat?
Yeah, I had a female friend who I grew up with, and she was in her 40s. She was making these huge bad decisions, and she was going to get evicted. And this is when I started. I was about $25,000 to $30,000 a month, and she knew it. And she was like,
"Hey, big head."
Yeah. She was definitely doing a hey, big head. And do you like help her out, things like that? So I helped her for 1 month, and I saw her decisions. And she was going out and like drinking in bars when I gave her a little help for 1 month. And I sat back and I was like, I don't go to bars. I'm working to death. Okay. I'm not giving you anything. She got evicted, lost her house. I was like, I don't care.
Yeah, that's her decision. Again, in the West, women are not held accountable for their decisions. Everything, they blame men for everything. I bet you should blame Theo for losing the house. Theo didn't help me out enough.
Theo, it's all your fault, man.
It's all your fault, Theo. Even though it's your house, you look after your own house. How's it Theo's fault? But that's the West for you. Lack of accountability for women in the West. And good luck to them. Shout out to Yama Bar for the $10 super chat. Thank you, bro. He says, from my experience, I've seen foreign women in the US test their American-born dates to see how masculine they are. Real women don't want a man; they need a man. Facts,
brother. Thank you, Yama Bar, for saying that, because that's what I was saying earlier. They will test a man, especially they come into America. They come into America because they themselves may be looking for simps. Not necessarily men. They may be looking. See, that's the thing you got to understand, brothers. You got to look out for this. They may not be looking for men. They may be looking for simps. Hence, Tinder app.
Yeah. Shout out to Cyril987 for the $5 super chat. He says, good stream. Got a friend who was paying for chicks in Colombia and trying to fly chicks around in Ukraine. Didn't work. Can't look at the same. Sick my head. Oh my goodness. Damn, that's just can't be doing that. Shout out to Sterling Yates for the £1.60 cash app. He says every penny counts, brother. Bigger sums are coming. Thank you, bro. Appreciate the cash app, brother. Hope you're all well, brothers. Thank you, bro. It's crazy. I can't believe let me read that again one more time. Got a friend paying for chicks in Colombia. Oh, come on. That right there is the ultimate form of simping. That right there is the top level form of simping. Please, can we save this brother? Cyril987, show the brother my channel, please. You know, let's save this brother, man. That's just sad. So I will pop the phone lines. Before I do, Tony and Phil, do you want to add anything else, brothers?
I'll say something because I want to go a little bit further because I had some failures on this part. So, when I was in Japan, my first relationship I had there, I was masculine. And my second one I was also masculine. But as I grew older, I fell into the trap, which is what other content creators have talked about, was between 28 and 32, when men kind of start really simping and they get kind of desperate. They get desperate right before the dawn. And that's what happened to me. And when I got married, I was making I was at $120,000 a year. I was a CISP, and I just wanted to relax and just be loved and have a marriage and go home and have my wife. And my wife, like, she was a Western woman, and I didn't understand that. And I was simping for her, and I really wanted to have this kind of Western relationship with her and have a glorious time with her. And what happened is that she turned around and made me the last priority in her life, 100% last. I had no value to her. And my first year of marriage was the loneliest time of my life. And I went from being strong and confident, $120,000 a year, to being unemployed and a near alcoholic. And I looked at it and I was like, I have to have a new way of maintaining frame. That's how I would say it in today's term. And I started implementing masculine traits and structure within the marriage. And I was looking at her, I was like, you are creating a chaotic environment and destruction. And it was actually with this, she flipped. She couldn't believe I did it. And she said, basically, I was betraying her. And I was like, I'm saving the marriage because you are doing damage. Like, you are making things impossible. And this happened because I started simping from the beginning with her, in the beginning of the marriage. That was it. Not when I met her. I was maintaining frame when I met her. But throughout the relationship with her, I started simping. And I paid the consequences for that. It was very hard. To this day, when I'm 48 years old, unfortunately, I look back at that first year of marriage and I'm like, well, it's still better than my first year. So I'm not losing anything by not having a woman in the house. And that's an unfortunate way of thinking, but that's actually really there. So it's why I'm like, okay, I'm going to go to Brazil, I'm going to go to the places and talk to women, but I'm kind of like, eh. In that case, she actually did real damage. She was successful at pretty much doing a huge amount of damage to me when I was like, I would think I would be a really good husband. In fact, that's what she said before she died. She said I was an ideal husband to her, and she was totally happy with me.
See see what Theo was saying. I mean, and I gotta commend Theo again, man. That it takes a man to get up here and say that. It really does, brothers. Like I said, get the likes up, put the cash apps in, man, because we got brothers up here speaking from their heart. Theo speaks from the heart. And see, I want to add on to that too. That happened to me too. And the two I was in before this one, the marriage things. So here's the thing. What happens is you even get to the point where when you're not accustomed to being with a woman that's feminine, you will simp. And then, like I said, they will feel like they got the upper hand. And once they get the upper hand, you find yourself chasing them. I mean, literally, my last one, I chased this person for 8 years before we finally, I was chasing her around because she thought she was it. She thought she was hot. She had the body, she had the looks, and she thought, oh, anybody want me. We're in the U.S. She thought she was the best thing since sliced bread. And why she thought that way? Because I was simping. Then when I became a man, when I, like Theo did, when I got this thing back under control, that's when she decided, well, look, I'm out of here. And that's when I was like, okay, it's going to hurt, but you know what? I know you already doing what you got to do. You might as well go on and get the stepping. And either they're going to stay when you become that man again, or they're going to go ahead and roll out because now they got used to the simp. So that's what will happen, guys. You got to be careful because you can flip the script and you can walk into a relationship where they're waiting for a man, and because you're accustomed to the West, you be a simp. They don't know what to do. The first couple of years, they're like, oh, what I got here? I got a man or a simp? What I got? And like Theo said, you'll be the lowest on the totem pole, the lowest value. And they won't even care. Whatever you say to them, they're going to say opposite. Whatever you do, you'll see them. They won't even listen to what you're saying. You'll be talking, and they won't listen. And that's when you know you're in trouble. And then look at Theo. You start losing money.
Yeah. I lost quite a bit. And I think of the situation, it was pretty bad. And that was in marriage. And that should not have been that way at all. And the amount of misery I went through, particularly that first year, was horrible. And so when I took the Chrism capsule, when I looked back and years of understanding it, I was like, I was 28 when I got married. My wife was 30. All right. I was a CISSP. I was making $120,000 a year, had my own apartment furnished that I paid for in Tokyo. Okay. I should have been dating 18-year-olds and maybe doing something illegal and going a little younger. And I'm just telling you what the capability was, because I'm fluent in Japanese.
Yes.
And I could have been running through them, right? And instead, I was doing the right thing, marrying a woman older, trying to make a family with her, and being happy and recognizing her inner world and supporting her, loving her. And she took her $30,000 a year job as justification, as a basis for saying that she was better and that I should follow her and I had no value. And I was like, what?
Yeah. And you know what? A lot of guys, Theo knows, especially a lot of white guys, they are still living there. A lot of the marriages are between white males and Japanese females. They're like that, even when they come back to the States, because you see them speaking Japanese in their house with their kids and their wife. And that's all they're using is Japanese. And they sound like females and they sound like they're simping because they are simps. That's the trap that you can fall into. If you have a friend or you have a girl who has girlfriends married to these guys, they're going to try to treat you like you one of them. And you got to put your foot down right away and say, no, that ain't me. That's him and that's him, but that ain't me. And if you want him, then you go get him because you're not going to be with me. The thing about Japanese girls, and Theo learned this, we have to go through our trials and tribulations. You got to, and most women, you got to let them know what your game is. You got to let them know up front, and you got to stick to your plan. They respect you more when you stick to your plan and you maintain frame. They respect you. Even if they feel bad, they will respect you. Because all they're really about, they're not about love. They're not about this, they're not about that. They're about respect. It's about power when you go to the feminine world. It's about power. And you got to be the one that's power.
Yeah, that's entirely correct. And I just want to say it based on that. So where I was when I got married, I was already lonely. I was working in order to get married, which I trying to be stable. And I thought it'd be, of course, there's Japanese women, there's wonderful women around. And I just wanted to be happy and be in marriage. It was really innocent. It was basic. I mean, it was kind of like the historical way of doing things. And then, of course, we have the media at that time, of course, in the 90s, black men this, black men that, right? So I wanted to show that a black man could be a responsible husband and be the good guy. And what I got paid back for, the amount of misery that I experienced, the amount of torture, I cannot really express in a stream. It's really too difficult to do. I mean, it was absolutely bad. And that never should have happened. And this is because I didn't maintain frame. When I started maintaining it, I was actually in one way or another. I started making $30,000 to $35,000 a month when I had my own company. I knew that I was buying my marriage. I was buying love from her. And I was like, this isn't good. This is bad. I'm in a very bad situation. And again, she did not like the fact that I was turning more masculine and saying, this is the structure. This is the way things are going to be. And if you can't handle it, I don't care. I'm going to do what I have to do. And she called that betrayal. She said I was betraying her when she was the love of my life. I mean, I look back and I'm just like, this is
No,
I'm like, what do
So
I do?
did she did she eventually get on your program, Phil, or was it always or did she always have that sentiment about you betraying her, or did she eventually get on your program? This is the husband, this is the man, he must lead. Speak on that, Phil.
She got to a point in which she recognized that she had treated me horribly. And there was no rationality for how she was treating me. And she admitted that she had done a lot of damage to me in my life personally. And then, like right before she died, she had straight out admitted to me that she never loved me at all. And I was looking at her. I was looking at her and I was like, you know, nobody made you go to, this is your country. You weren't pregnant. There was no social conditioning that made you have to go to the church to get married. You paid for the wedding. I did not. We went 50-50 on the honeymoon, but I did not pay for the wedding because as far as I was concerned, I'm Christian. I go to a Christian church. They'll do it for free. So I'll just pay for the registration for the legal registration. And she wanted to go to a glamorous church. I was like, okay, you pay for it. So I was like, you were under no requirements to marry me. Why did you appear in the church and say I do? Or yakusoko shimasu. That's how you say it in Japanese. Yakusoko shimasu. I said, why did you say that? Why did you do it? Why were you there? And she said she wanted the attention. She liked the idea of marrying a foreigner. She liked all the attention and adoration that I was giving her. So she went ahead and went along with it. And I just sat back and I was looking at her. I was like, this is not good. But at least she said it to me before she died, or else I would have needed like a team of psychologists afterwards.
Oh my goodness.
See
God damn.
See, it takes a man to admit that, man, or not admit it. It takes a man to put that news out there, man. And that's the thing. See, when you're in the situation with these women, like I was in the 2 marriages, man, you feel like you living worse than a Western man. You feel like you're shocked because you're like, wait a minute, why am I living like this? I'm married to a Japanese. This should be, you know what I'm saying? And you try not to simp. Then you start stepping up to be a man, and you're like, wait a minute, this isn't right. Something's not right, and you know it's not right. But for Theo to have a woman come out there and say that she never loved him, it's like, hey, here's the thing. That's why now Theo's where he's at now. You best damn believe he's gonna go for somebody younger, somebody that will get on this page and that will stay on this page. One thing I want to bring this up in the middle of this conversation here. Although I've been married for 14 years, I'm happily married to my wife. But if I had issues that she wasn't on my purpose, or suddenly decide not to get on my purpose, she has to go. And then, and you as a man have to know there are no limits when it comes to them being on your purpose. There is no backing out of that. If they were to decide to change, because women change, women, they go through their evolutionary process. They change throughout their lives. We know that. You could be married to a woman for 15 years, but if they are not on your purpose, if they wake up one day and decide that they don't want to be on your purpose, they gotta go. Yeah, you had a life with them, but they gotta go because there's many more out there. And I think if you feel that way, you'll always be okay.
Yeah, I exactly agree with this. And one point about this, when women like my age, like for example, they say that I should date them, I just start laughing. I'm just like, I've already been through this. If you're single for a reason. Poof, like go.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
I know how you think. God, you're out there. I don't care your financial situation. I don't care. No. You figure it out. I don't care because I know how you think. This is not going to happen. And then they turn around and say you're being controlling. That's why you want a younger girl who's controlling. And I'm like, no, I want a younger woman who's loving, and that's not you. And that's when they absolutely go nuts. I'm like, I don't care. You're looking for a free bag, your free retirement package, and that's what you see in me. That's it. You're not like if you had if you were good, if something were great with you, somebody would have wiped you up already. Or you would have thought that you need a man, not that you want, like that comment said, that you need a man. It's fundamental for you to have one. And I had to reprogram myself basically because I thought before, I need a woman, not that I want one, but I need one. And I had to go through that, change that with the Crimson Capsule. and say, no, I need myself, I need my purpose, and I can be self-sufficient. And if I have a woman later on, okay, fine. But she's on my plan. She's going along with me for my goals. And if she doesn't do that, it's not going to happen. So yeah, of course I date younger. That's it. I take an airplane and go date younger women. And if older women have a problem with it, I'm like, what? Are you talking to the mirror? Like, you ain't talking to me. No, after what I've been through, no, goodbye. Bye.
Yeah, because you got to deal with the mess because they're already set in their ways. And granted, nobody's rushing to go to a club and meet 45-year-olds. Nobody. 45-year-old females. Nobody. Nobody. If you happen to come, some people come across with 40-year-old females. That's okay because they get it, they're hitting it, they do great. But their first choice when they leave their house is not going to go to a club to meet a bunch of 40-year-olds. That is not going to be 40-year-old females. That ain't the first choice, brother. Sorry, it's not. It's not.
What I say on this, there are women on forums. They're like, I'm 45 years old. I'm dating younger men. And I always tell them, I said, well, these guys like necrophilia. So you're like the practice corpse. Okay, that's it.
Yes.
You're just a practice corpse. They really want the corpse, but you're just like, okay, you're kind of close to it. You got a pulse. You're still moving, so that's why they go ahead and go with you. Because men will engage sometimes in necrophilia. So what? How far away are you from that? They go nuts over that. They start yelling and stuff at me. I'm like, I don't care, because I know what you are. Like you're, zombie corpse. I don't know why you're still here, man. And they keep on thinking that they're going to get this guy, this high-value man. I'm like, no high-value man going to be around you, honey. Ain't going to happen.
Stay as far away from menopause as you can possibly stay, man. Trust me. You want to stay as far away from it as you can.
And got a couple super chat, brothers. Shout out to Maurice Branch for the $199 super chat. Western women crave drama due to media and reality. Yes, they do. Thank you, brother. Much appreciated, bro. Shout out to Hawkeye 881. How you doing, Hawkeye? First time I've seen you here. Welcome, brother. He's donated $999 to the channel. Thank you, bro. Great information, fellas. We have to learn to stop pedestalizing women and make them earn our intention. If they leave, let them go. Don't chase, replace. Yes, indeed. Yeah, brothers, have an abundance mindset, right? There are billions upon billions of women out there. Just get your passport, brothers. I'm telling you, it's a different world out there.
Yep.
Shout out to Random Inc. For the $5 super chat. Much appreciated for this knowledge, Tony and Theo. Hashtag SYSBM. Yes, indeed, bro. SYSBM is the way, the life, and the movement at the moment for brothers. Yes, brother. Shout out to Random Inc. Shout out to Yamaba for the second super chat of the night. Thank you, bro. Much appreciated, brother. Some men are too afraid of unsimping mid-relationship. When they wake up because they're afraid of losing someone, they should be kicking to the curb anyways. Thanks for sharing your story, guys. Yes, indeed. Thank you again, Theo and Tony. Much appreciated, brothers. It's crazy, man. Theo, I'm sorry to hear that, bro. Again, bro, we're here to help you out, brother, to support you, bro, to be that kind of ears to hear what your thoughts are, Theo. So I'm sorry, brother.
Theo, I'm not sorry, man. Just go out there and get those ladies that you want, man. Go get them. You deserve, brother. You a high value, man. Go get them, man.
Go get them, Tony. Go get them, Theo, man. I know you go get them, Theo. You got this, Theo, man. But we believe in you, brother. So trust me, bro. You got the sauce, bro. Trust me, man. You still have the sauce.
Well,
crazy life.
Just on that point, I required 3 rounds of therapy. And one of my therapists really went through this and explained why it permitted this to happen, why it permitted it to happen, and it was actually very eye-opening. There are a lot of points about me that I didn't understand, but she saw it and she was like, I had a woman therapist and a male therapist as well, and I always say, guys, if you go through something really traumatic, you really do need a therapist at some point. This is what KS always talks about, and you have to do it. And you can't be scared. You have to go through it because you will see some darkness. You will see something that's horrible. And I went through. That's one of the reasons why I can talk about it a bit easily right now. But I didn't talk about that one event at least 5 years after it occurred. I was silent. Like, I could only really talk about it when I was drunk. And I needed a therapist. So now I'm okay. I mean, I understand it. Pretty strong on it. Like women start talking this and then I'm like, I just look at them and I say, "Oh, you're a shark. That's it. I know what you are. You're a shark." Like, one of the big points that really helped me out was the Nalwalt unicorn. If you guys ever heard of that, not all women are like that unicorn. I just ridiculously laughed. And then with another one content creator, which I won't say right now, out of respect to your channel, one content creator really focused on the idea of wealth transfer. And he said most women's MO is to ensure there's wealth transfer from men to women. If you just stop this wealth transfer and the man spends on himself, the dynamic will change. And I was like, are you serious? Like, I couldn't believe this. This took 2 years. This was a 2-year process, actually, when I was in therapy for the second time. And I cut off all funds. It was it. And that's when things started transforming for myself. I was like, funds, no. Time, no. Compassion, no. Empathy, no. In fact, if you die outside, I don't care. And it really had to be this way. And it sounds brutal to women. And I'm like, I don't care. You know, figure it out.
Yeah. No, he's right, man. I mean, I know about the therapy because I know myself. I had to go through therapy too, with being in the Air Force with PTSD, man. I mean, you have to see a therapist from time to time. It's not a weak thing. It's just something that you want to get your mind cleared. You have to sometimes talk to people that don't understand what you're going through. I mean, that happens, man. It happens. But like you said, like Theo said, you get better. You get back on track. You're rolling. And, and you really do have to be, like Theo said, you got to be this way with these women, guys. And what leads to our demise 100% of the time is when we start simping. That's what leads to our demise. That's when we are the unhappiest, is when we're simping. We're happy when we're a man. Now, here's the thing about that. Like the brother just put up there and say, well, men are afraid to go midstream and in the simping and turn into a man because they're afraid they're going to lose what they got. They're afraid they're going to lose their house. They're going to lose their kids. They're going to lose this, lose that, the other. The bottom line is this. Whatever you lose, you can always get back, with the exception of a human being, of course. But if you want to have that family life, if you want to have that house again, this, that, the other, you're gonna. That's just material stuff. You'll get that back, and you'll get it back tenfold. That's nothing to save yourself, to be a man. Because if you're a simp, it's been proven you're gonna live longer as a man. You're gonna live shorter as a simp because you're gonna be living on your knees. I'd rather walk on my feet and stand up straight than die on my knees. And that's the way you have to be.
Yeah. And you'll die on your knees, and then she'll blame you for it.
Yeah, and she'll blame you for it. It's your fault that you're dead.
Yeah.
It's your fault you didn't leave me nothing.
Yeah. So I recognize that back with Western women. I was like, why am I doing this? Like, why did I ever allow this to happen? And so now, I mean, I took Crimson Capsule. I look back and I was like, oh, that those days are gone. And again, there are women out there saying these things like, if you act this way, you can get a woman. And I'm like, really? So I want a shark? I really want a shark? So I see you as a shark in the water telling me that I should go, like, put some ketchup on me and then, like, go surfing. Like, really? You want me to self-marinate? Really? No. That ain't gonna happen. But that's how they act all the time. I'm like, no, man. No, I'm done. I'll stay on the beach. I'll let other people die out there.
Not when you go to Brazil, you good.
Shout out to Sean Camp for the $999 super chat. Remember, brothers, women will never respect a simp. They will use a simp for his resources, but will never respect a simp. So it will never be worth it being a simp. We have too many options, brothers. Yes, indeed, brothers. Thank you for that, Sean Camp. Brothers, where's the support, brothers? Hit the cash app, hit the super chat. We got 2 brothers here dropping gems for you, brothers, man. Support the channel. Hit the like button. Send for the cash app, the super chat. Much appreciated, brothers. So I will open up the phone lines right now. Brothers, please be respectful. Any trolls? We've had a couple trolls here today, and they've been banned. You will be banned on site. So please be respectful. Before I do that, brothers, please join the Facebook group, as you can see in the live stream chat. You will find Tony, Theo, and other high-value males within that Facebook group. I am very selective on there within that group. So if I see in the live stream chat that you troll a lot, you won't be in that group. So be a respectable brother, be smart. We only want the best and brightest SYSBM in that Facebook group. I'm also on Twitter, brothers. I strongly advise you, brothers, to follow me on Twitter and send me a DM, brothers. That's where you would find you can reach out to me, brothers, directly on DMs, and I can speak to you, call you through Twitter. It's all good. Follow me on Twitter. I'm using that more to push out the international passport movement. Last but not least, brothers, I'm also on Instagram, brothers. So you want to make sure you follow me on Instagram. I put out a lot of updates on there. Send me a DM on Instagram. I will call you on Instagram directly if needed, but follow me on Instagram, send me a DM. And of course, brothers, hit me up on the Cash App to support what I'm doing. It's 3 a.m. It's 3 a.m. over here in the UK, brothers. Another late live stream for you, brothers. So please support for the Cash App with super chats. That's greatly appreciated, brothers. So let me open up the phone lines. Please be respectful. Any trolls, ban on site. It's we're playing no games around here. This is serious matters, man. Serious. I'm calling Call of Duty quick scope. Modern Warfare 2, a headshot. Headshot, bang.
That's right.
That's right. Both Tony
up close and personal.
Yeah,
up close and personal.
Yes.
Especially the trolls who want to put us back into the Matrix. Oh yeah, the gun is out.
Yeah, it's out, buddy. Yeah. I have no respect, no love for a simp, man. None.
Simps, trolls, feminized men who lie to women to be in women's good books, such as feminists, try to sleep with them. This ain't the space for you. F off.
Yep.
F off. What's up, Jay Takashi? How you doing, brother?
Oh, Jay Takashi, that's my man.
Hey, Jay.
That's a bro. Hello, Jay.
Brother right there, man. The legend, Jacob Cash.
I really appreciate you guys calling me that. I mean, like, you guys are the legends, not me. I'm just here. I'm the young cat here that's willing to learn from the OGs right now. That's basically what I am. I appreciate that. Theo, I'm not gonna lie, man. Your story is it's kind of very similar to mine because I'm not gonna lie. I had to see an anger therapist for everything at a young age when I was in middle school to high school, because I think because I don't know if I've told International Passport my story, but yes, I was I didn't have my biological mother and father in my life to teach me how to be certain things, but my adoptive grandparents became my mother and father, and which is why I do call them Hahao and Chichue all the time, because they helped me with certain things, but I was still going through issues, and even around the time where it was like I have all this anger inside me. I don't know what I'm supposed to do with it, because men are not supposed to act. We're not supposed to bask in our emotions like this. We need male guidance to help us cultivate it and put it into something productive. Hence why I took up sports and things like that. So I'm gonna tell men right now, don't be afraid to go to therapy. Theo said what I was going Theo said it before I was gonna say it, because Kevin Samuels does talk about it, and it's just like it's something that's very needed for male. Because even for me, before I decide to go to Japan, I'll be honest, I am not gonna go in the freaking same way person that I am now going in over there when the time comes. I want to see a therapist for everything and make sure I am good to go and make sure there are things that I need to work on. I don't want a yes person. I want him or she to tell me what I need to work on to get rid of any, not insecurity, but anything that is holding me back or anything that is restricting me. Mm-hmm. So it is very much needed for us. And IP, you talked about it when you said our health is important. Our mental health is just also important. That's the main thing. Like I said, I'm not the best person. I've not made the best mistakes, but the thing is, I've never went out to hurt somebody personally, only if they were a threat to me. But the thing is, I'm really trying my best. I really am. It's one of my coworkers always told me, you're your own worst enemy. And technically, that's modern day black women. Really, right now, they're their own worst enemy. And the thing is, I don't want to be in. Yeah, exactly. And I should also say the modern woman as a whole. To be honest, I'm gonna say as a whole in the U.S. I'm not just going to deliver it to them. It's every woman at this point because it's just getting out of hand. But on our end, it's like we as men, we beat ourselves up over some stuff that even wasn't our fault, but also they make us feel responsible because remember, like they have choice, we have choice because we put ourselves in this situation. But the thing is, we didn't assess it to the point that we should have. To like even that speaks to Theo's situation where like Theo, man, that really got me, man. When you told me that she told you that she didn't love you, that really got me, man. No man should ever go on in life being unhappy. Go ahead.
So on that note, Jay Takashi, have you dealt with a feminine woman before, brother? And what was your experience in dealing with her? Was it a shock to you, or was it normal for you? Speak on that, Jay Takashi. What was your experience dating a feminine woman?
Okay, so I was going to say this for the teenager stream, but I'll say it right now. This speaks to the Asian woman I met in high school and the Korean girl. So no, don't worry. I didn't date. Okay, I didn't date both of them. Okay, I just want to let that be known. But just how they were introduced and how they presented themselves from the other girls at school. So one of the Japanese girl, I'm gonna name her full name, but her name was Minako. Minako was Japanese. She was here as a foreign exchange student, and when we had conversations, she was just such a breath of fresh air to be around. Like I never experienced that. When you're born in the projects or whatever, you get around a bunch of hood system mentality, and they just yell and they're just loud. And I never liked that. Like I said in the last stream, I don't like that. I've never liked being screamed at. I've never liked loud people to begin with. And sometimes you would emulate that when you're younger, but when you got around a girl that was really soft and was actually a girly girl and not trying to act like a man, it takes you aback. Like you off balance, you off center. I'm actually about to fall over as I speak to her. I actually had a clumsy moment for a second. I'm like, yo, don't fall. This girl is something different. She's not used to what you normally run into. And she would just speak to me in such positive lights. She never brought anything negative. She was always positive. She had a cute smile, and Theo knows because he's been around Japan, and so does Tony. They have that kawaii, innocent nature that just sucks you in. And when I tell you, my brain has never had freaking butterflies fly in it, but I was just like, yo, what the heck is going on here, Jay? This ain't you're not used to these like you are to the sisters around your neighborhood because you didn't even talk to them. But when you talk to this girl, she's making you laugh and smile, which didn't happen to me all the time. So that took me aback. That was one of the girls that I met. But also when I was 14 to going to 16, there was this neighbor. She was Hispanic, and her name was funny enough. Her name is Marisol. It was Marisol. That's actually enough. She was a Latina girl, and same thing. I think it was same thing, but difference. The difference is she didn't have an attitude. The difference was she was as gentle as a flower. I would call her a flower girl. She liked nature. She liked talking to me, interacting with me. I think I was the only black guy in that whole area at the time. And we just got along. And when I tell you when that technically was my first kiss experience with her, and I'm just like, this girl is a breath of fresh air. I hope that I can marry this girl and her parents accept me one day. But those are my experiences mostly with feminine women, because after that it just pretty much died after I guess after I got out of college, because then I started to run into more like masculine women, and I'm just like,
nah.
Oh yeah.
Nope.
Yeah, we need to go down that road. But
thanks for that, brother. I'll bring you in later on to Takashi, bro. Love you having you on my channel, bro. Thank you, bro. Shout out to Sean M for the $5 super chat. He says, thanks, brothers, for the intel. I've got nothing but respect for you, brothers, for keeping it 100 raw and real with us. God bless. Yeah, bro. On my channel, ain't no cap, man. We ain't trying to make it all rosy for you. I speak about the bad sides, the good sides of life in general. I'm not selling you no dream. I ain't selling you no lies, brother. I'm telling you as to how it is, you know. this stream right here, I'm telling you, brothers, shout out to Theo and Tony for breaking down another classic stream for us, brothers. So please hit the Cash App, hit the Super Chat. It's greatly appreciated, brothers. I'm telling you, there's a lot of hard work on my end to get this stream set up, brothers. It's very tough on me, but I know you brothers need it. I'm here for you, brothers, and we'll push on from there. Thank you, Jay Takashi. Let me bring in Mr. TCD. Hello, brother.
Hey, can you hear me?
Loud and clear, bro. How you doing?
Doing good, thanks. How are you?
Yes, bro. Good to hear your voice. I'm okay, brother. Good to hear you. You're okay, brother. Do you have any questions for Theo and Tony, brother?
Is it okay if I ask Theo like a more professional related question?
No, bro. Not for this stream. Keep it regarding feminine women, and but if there's some time in the end, yes. But right now, just keep it on topic, bro. If that's okay.
Okay, yeah, for sure. I don't know. Have like I guess what's a good benchmark? Like, I'm Canadian. Like, would you guys say that I guess Japanese women are like more like between like American, Canadian, and then like European? Like, are they just like all the way on the other end of the spectrum, or are they just like closer to Canadian, or what?
You've never met a feminine woman before. Because if you meet a feminine woman, you'll never have to ask the question. The question will be, you'll turn around and say, what's wrong with you Western women? So
I'll say word.
It's that bad. It's that severe. So what I would suggest is, what city are you in Canada?
Well, right now I'm in Jamaica, but like I'm from Ottawa.
Oh, yeah. You got westernized women in Ottawa. I know what's going on there. Okay, so
Hey, it wasn't as bad as New York.
Oh yeah, but okay. Okay, so Jamaica's fine. I'm sure it's a good environment. Try to go to the main areas of super feminine women as fast as you can, which is Japan, Southeast Asia, Ukraine, Russia, Brazil, basically South America. Costa Rica, basically Costa Rica on down. And get there and start talking to them. And then that's when you'll look back and think, what was I doing? What was I even thinking about? Because these women are like a different planet away from Western women.
Yeah, I would actually say Jamaica is not actually that good of an environment for regular guys.
No.
It's not a good environment for regular guys at all. I mean, it's if you're in a certain social class, it's good, but not for regular people.
Just get on the airplane, leave. You notice that what I say here on the streams all the time is, there are plenty of women here in Austin. I don't date any of them. I use my passport. I don't even care what they say. If I want to go on another date in the next 2 days, I'll be at the airport. That's the way it is. I'm done. I won't even attempt. So I don't care what they say about it, because I know what a good woman is, and a good woman is on the other side of an airplane flight. So that's the way you have to be. You have to be really strict on this. If you don't, then what this woman is going to do is she's going to try to get into you, put her hooks into you, and then use you. And what I've noticed more and more within the manosphere, comparing people's notes, is that the Western woman thinks, can she finesse the government or can she finesse you? It's one or the other, right? And so she's actually comparing, like, what is her best chance for finessing. And you have to drop her and say, yeah, you can finesse the streets. Goodbye. That's it. Done.
Okay.
You have to put your foot down, brother. And the thing is this: when you do start going overseas, and let's say you meet a woman on an app or something, you want to, of course, have her video conference you a lot. Number one. Number two, if you do happen to go to the country she's in, don't just go there for her. Go there to see the country, learn the culture, try to learn a little bit of the tongue over there, because you're going to meet so many other women besides that woman. That woman is just a conduit to get you there, to get you familiar with the surroundings a little bit. But be looking for others, trust me, because you are a highly sought after individual.
Okay. Yeah. Thanks. Is there any way I can get in touch with like one of you guys later?
Yeah,
The
I'm on the
Facebook
Facebook group. We're in the group. Me and Theo are in
Facebook
the
group.
Yeah, just
Oh,
go
yeah,
to the
okay.
group and send us a friend request, or just let us know who you are, and then I'll send you a
Yes.
request. I think the way mine's set up is private. So, but if you let me know, I'll friend you.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is something that's kind of important, guys. I'm sure Tony has the same situation. I got plenty of guys who are friend requesting me, and I'm sitting there like, "Who are you?"
Yeah,
And you need to send a message first and say, "This is who I am." Like on YouTube, this is how I met you. This is how I know about you. I like to be a
Yes.
friend, and then I'll be like, "Oh, okay, I know who you are," because I'm like, I'm a security guy, like IT
Yeah.
security. So I'm looking at this like, well, my security settings must not be good enough because how did this person find me? So I'm thinking about slamming you down as fast as I can, right? So you have to understand that. I'm like, okay, well, it's a black male. All right. I guess. No, I'm not. No, he has to talk to me first. I'm not going to do anything. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
and
send the
there's guys
message.
who like use their names, like their tag names on here, right? So like if TCD sent me something, hey, this is John Javison. I'm like, who's John Javison? I don't know who that is. That's why you have to put a message in there, and then I'll know. Like if Jay Takeshi, I don't know if we're friends or not. I love to be friends with this guy on Facebook, but I don't know if he reached out to me or not. He may have, and I'm like, well, if there's no message, I don't know who he is.
Yeah.
See? So, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, thanks for that, TCD.
right,
Stay
thank you,
online,
guys.
bro. And hopefully we'll get your question out regarding career advice near the end of the stream, but keep it quick, okay, bro? Put yourself on
All right.
mute. Okay, thanks for that, TCD. Shout out to I've got a cash app here. Thank you, bro, for the cash app. Who's cash app to me? Shout out to Brother Dre for the £10.97 cash app. Thank you, bro. Thank you for your support, bro. Much appreciated, brother. Shout out to Isaiah T for the $20 super chat. He says, "You have to be the captain of your own ship. Learned that through trial and error on my way to be a firefighter on my purpose. Thank you guys for all the knowledge. Shout out to Theo, Tony, IPJ. Thank you, Azalar T. Thank you, bro. Much appreciated, brother. Sending blessings your way, brother. Thank you for the super chat, bro. It's much appreciated. Let me bring in Mr. J Bones.
J Bones in the house.
AN, I see you, bro. Stay on the line, bro. You come after J Bones, okay, bro? What's up, J Bones?
Squad.
How you doing, man?
What up, J
Okay.
Bones in the house? What's up, brother? Legend.
Team.
What's up, J
Favorite
Bones?
team, guys. Assemble. IP, TCDJ, Tokyo, and Theo. How you boys doing? What's going on, IP?
What's up, brother?
All
What's going
good,
on?
brother. How are you keeping? You okay?
Yeah, man. Yeah, great job. Great job tonight, man. Thank you, boys, for always joining us. That's why I always tell the guys, stop with the whole clowning around in the live chat as usual. Today it wasn't so bad, but I still saw some unsanitary idiots over there. But yeah, when you guys come up here, man, start, like I said, pen and paper and start taking lessons. You guys are real loudmouths on the Facebook groups about how you want to, push yourselves up and become high value, man, blah blah blah. But then when you guys get here, there's a whole bunch of jerking around in the live chat. You guys got to be more serious. I'm telling you, I be seeing there is one too many clowns I'm starting to see over there in that damn live chat. If I have to tell Aaron B to act like a grown up one more time, I think I'm just gonna jump off of a bridge. I really don't get it. But
R&B again? Damn.
Yeah, I just let's get to something important. Listen, IP, I'm glad you did the stream. This was much more important and very well needed because the concept of dating the feminine women thing. See, back in the day, the best thing for us that changed our it basically changed the way that we kind of move was that black men were not used to going to college. So when brothers started going to college, that was when things became completely different. That was when the experience came and you were surrounded with a whole bunch of different women. You were surrounded and being in an atmosphere where it was completely 10 times better. I remember when I first got to college, IP, I was just completely blown away. Like I was completely blown away. Like I was like, yo, There's Japanese women here. There's girls from Uruguay, Argentina. You know, if you ever been on an Ivy League school campus, it's literally you know what's funny? I had two versions of the United Nations, college and real life. I went from going to an Ivy League school to working at the United Nations. So I left the United Nations and I went to the United Nations. It was just an abundance of feminine women. Women from Iraq, women from Iran, women from just Japan and Costa Rica and all these other places. And I'm like, whoa, this is it. You understand what I'm saying? This is it. Like, this is the real feeling right now. So when you boys, when you boys get yourself together, but put the game plan together ahead of time, so when you guys step outside, you'll be good to go. You understand what I'm saying? Right now, stay on your purpose. Stay on your purpose. Keep working hard. Try your best. I told you boys before. Try to be selfish as possible. Ignore everybody else, because why? The world has ignored black men, so we will ignore the world. That's pretty much that's it. There will be no. I remember some days IP just standing outside and got the little umbrella and writing little cute poems to these little Shaniquas and Keishas and thinking that they were the final straw for us. Yeah, a lot has changed, IP. Like, the game has really, really changed. The bad part about it is that now when brothers go to college, they're not going to get the feminine thing anymore because feminism and a whole bunch of this Cardi B culture has infected the culture. Do you understand what I'm saying? So for you brothers that are looking to go, I talked to what's his name, Ronald Taylor, behind the scenes, and I'm really proud of that brother. We're praying for him. He's 19 years old. He's got the scholarships moving. So far, he's applying for Carnegie. I'm trying to push him to go to Notre Dame like I did because I just want him to see. I want him to do better. So Princeton, Carnegie. He's looking at Harvard. He's looking at Yale. So we got some brothers in here who are really, really going for the gusto. We got some real young brothers in here, and I'm glad to see it. But you guys stay on your purpose. Stay on your purpose and watch out for the nonsense. Stay away from these disgusting females who are looking to basically wreck you. We're gonna make it, IP. No doubt. We're gonna make it.
Absolutely. Wonderful comment on that, J Bones. Bro, Bro, what do you think about? I know, we have a weird question here, J Bones. But what's your thoughts about the K-pop being very popular and women gravitating towards Asian men nowadays? Is that a thing that brothers should be aware of? Because what's your thoughts about it, J Bones? Because I'm seeing a lot of young women, good-looking women, gravitate towards Asian men as a revolt to K-pop. What's your thoughts about that, J Bones?
Yeah, that's not gonna last, IP. There's never been a time where Asian men have been the the image of masculinity. That's just you know what it is. Let me explain to you. Remember when we were kids and Bow Wow was popular? Yeah, pretty much the same thing. It's not gonna last. It's just some little yeah. When you look at the demographic of these kind of girls, kind of straddling over to the K-pop thing, a lot of them tend to be in a young demographic. A lot of them are in more of the young demographic, but we're not going to be dating children. I mean, it's not like we got any R. Kellys in here. We're not looking to date each. Yeah, exactly. So most of us are looking to date mature women. Like, I mean, I'm gonna tell you something, IP. I remember when I was in college and my first girl I ever dated was from Argentina, and she was just completely just blew me away. You understand what I'm saying? And that's what I'm really proud of you, IP. I'm proud of the message that you push because. The brothers, I want you guys to know, go for the best, go for the top spot. That's why I tell you brothers all the time, go for the top spot. Stop walking around with these damn Keishas and Shaniquas and Bonquishas and all the damn, I can't even pronounce any names anymore. Like, just go for the top spot, brothers. Please, I'm begging you, brothers, push the nonsense out the way and go for the top spot.
Thanks for that, J Bones. Much appreciated, brother. Great comment there. Brothers, hit the cash app, hit the super chat, brothers. Again, support powerful streams like this. And whoa, shout out to Wall Tech Systems. Whoever that brother is, who are you in the live stream chat? The brother here has donated £36.58. Thank you, brother. Whoa. He says, from Tech Job, I appreciate your streams. I feel Tech Job, how you doing, bro? Thank you, bro. Much appreciated for that cash out, brother, of £36.58, bro. Honestly, it means a lot to me, bro. I haven't seen your face before, brother. So if you're new to the channel, welcome aboard the International Passport Movement, brother. I'm happy that you're enjoying my content. Thank you, brother. I appreciate that, bro. Thank you. It means a lot to me. Thank you, bro. Let me bring in AN. What's up, AN?
Can you hear me?
Loud and clear, brother. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good.
Fantastic, bro. I've not seen your AVI before, your name. Are you new to the channel, brother?
No, I've been here for a while and I've been donating too. Come on, IP.
No, IP. That's AN. That's the brother from Canada. I think he's from Edmonton, right? AN.
Yep.
Yeah, that's the brother from Edmonton.
Oh, hey, what's up?
Everything
Sorry,
up in the
bro.
house.
I've not seen you in a long time. How you keeping well, brother? You okay?
I'm really good. Thank you very much.
Okay, awesome, brother. Do you have any questions for your Tony, or do you want to speak about your own experience with dealing with your first feminine woman and how that was different for you, brother?
Yes. And I have a long story to tell you guys. If you guys have the time, I'll tell it.
Okay.
All right. First of all, I want to say shout out to International Passport, Tokyo 64, Tio, Takashi, J Bones, and TCD. All right. Okay, guys, I'm going to start. Me personally, and first of all, I'm an African man, came to Canada at 6 years old. My dad is a strong African man, and my mom, she's a strong African woman too. In our family, we've been raised with a no simping rules. My mom, we are 4 guys and 3 sisters. My mom spent her life working hard and making sure that my sisters are feminine women, and my dad worked ultra hard for us 4 boys, no simping. So for me, when I hear a lot of simping stories, I understand because I know the majority of guys out here are simps. But I never really had this type of I never been in the receiving end of all this bad treatment um, that guys get. Now this is where I come in. I come into. I was the guy that was effing the women of the simp. You know what I mean? And from let's say 16 years old till 25, that's when I was living a wild life, guys. Like just traveling. I I was working at the rigs. I don't know if TCD knows about it. Rigs, oil rigs in Alberta. This job, you're in your first day, your first month, you're getting paid $10,000 cash and after taxes. So I was young, 18 years old, just making lots of money. I lost my mind, partying, going to cities, different countries, and this is what I'm going to tell to you guys. When it comes down to Canada and feminine women, is there good women here, guys? Yes. I've met some feminine and good women here in Canada. I'm gonna be honest. However, when I was dating between 18 and 25, I wasn't at the state of mind that I'm here right now at 32, where I have a stable job, I have a good job, I have my house, and I want a woman to come in my house, cook, clean, take care of the house, and we're a team. You know what I mean? I was just you look good, all right. When I'm talking to you, you don't talk back. All right. It's business. Let's go do it. This is the type of guy that I was. And this brings me to the story that I'm going to tell you guys right now. There's this guy that I met when I was 9 years old. He was my dad's friend, a Caucasian man. My dad met him at work. This guy, I was 9 years old. I'm 32, guys. When I met this guy, his Canadian woman, every time it was her birthday, she would ask him to drop him at the hotel, and she would tell him, "Don't come in the hotel." And then when he told that to my dad, we were talking about it in my family. My dad was telling me, "Guys, you see what I'm telling you guys? No simping. There is no way that your woman asks you to pay for a hotel room and you can't even be there to enjoy. What do you think she's doing, guys?" I was young. My dad was telling me the truth, and my mom too was telling me the truth. Oh no, she's getting effed up by other dudes. Fast forward Last year, guys, remind you, the guy, I met him at 9 years old. Last year, 30, I'm 31 now. My dad tells me he saw the guy again at a different job. And because my dad owns a bunch of real estate, and my dad hired him as a contractor. So the guy shows up, and then the guy starts telling my dad the story about how for the past 6 years she didn't give him any sex, and how she destroyed him, she turned the kids around him. And when he took his retirement, she divorced him the same day. She took half of his money. On top of taking half of his money, she took the house. And what's bad about the guy is that as of a few months ago, my dad told me he's paralyzed. So now we're talking about a hardworking man. Worked his butt off his whole life. He has 2 kids with the woman. The woman stayed at home. She wasn't even cooking. She wasn't even cleaning. She was just there to be there. And the guy always been scared to divorce because he was like, oh my God, it's going to cost me a lot of money. But guess what, guys? The guy now is paralyzed. I don't know what disease he got. He's paralyzed. He can't work. That woman is living off half of the month, his retirement plan, and half of his house that was worth at the time. I'm talking at the time that house was worth around 350,000. And the guy's paralyzed. So his whole life he was scared to let this woman go because what if she takes my money? What if? And he waited too long. The reason why I'm calling is to tell brothers, never be afraid to walk away. The way my dad raised me, I always told my dad, and even I have a lot of this type of conversation with my dad. I told my dad, Dad, I'm never gonna marry a woman here. That's what. But let's it happen. And then boom, she wants to divorce me. That I will divorce right away. Like I don't know if it's Tokyo 64 who said it, but that quote I respected. I will never be on my knees. Hell no, not for a woman and not for nobody. You know what I mean? So now it brings me to what I was gonna say here. When I was 18 to 25, I was just dating to F women up, well, I'm not gonna say, but FUCK women. And just part I didn't care. I wasn't dating with a purpose. I'm 32 years old, and now I'm dating with a purpose. And now, like I was telling you, I was the type of guy that I see a woman in the club, we talk, she's good, I smash her, and next thing you know, she has a boyfriend. Oh well. But now that I've been in that side of the guy doing the dirt, now that I'm more of a serious person, I'm like, holy, how can I trust this woman? Because I was the guy that they were cheating with way back when I didn't care about dating seriously. And I'm going to tell you one more story. There's a brother here that told me that I was capping about Vancouver. I'm going to tell you a story about Vancouver. One of my good brothers, he's a correctional officer. We were probably at 23, Vancouver. We took a flight for 2-3 days in Vancouver. We partied at this club. I forgot the club was. It was a good club. We partied at that club, guys. It was a bachelor party. My brother told, not my brother, my brother, a black friend, obviously. My brother told me, bro, I'm going to get this woman. I'm going to smash her. I'm like, bro, it's a bachelorette party. He's like, bro, these women are thugs. I'm like, I know they're thugs. All right. Guess what, bro? I didn't believe he's gonna do it. I was sleeping in my hotel room. He sent me a picture of her naked with flexing her ring and hiding her picture. So when people tell me here in Canada, the women's are good and blah, 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 I'm not going to curse because we can't curse. But guys, this is the reality.
Yep.
Can you meet a good woman here? Yes, guy, you can meet a good woman. I've been hard on Canada. I've been bashing Canada, but you can't. The problem is, guys, here in Canada is that they're all good until you have a kid. I don't know if TCD can confirm that they're good until you have a kid.
I'm gonna come in here, bro. So I need to move on with this, bro. But I definitely agree. Brothers, don't be wifing up no chick in the West. That includes Canada. You go to Vancouver, you go to Montreal to have your fun there. I've never said wife up any chick there. Do not, in any circumstances, wife any chick from America, from the UK, from Canada, from New Zealand, from Australia. You best not do that, but women are checking for brothers in Vancouver. Sean Davis is up in the stream. You can confirm it. You have your fun there, but don't wife them up. It's not worth it. Hold on, brothers. I've got a cash app. Sorry, AN, real quick, brother. Shout out to Jalil Davis for the £7.31 cash app. Not watching, but dropping some love to the fam. Thank you, brother. Much appreciated. Shout out to Andre C. Hatchet for the $19.99 super chat. What's up, brother? He says, shout out to Theo and the crew. Thank you, bro. What's up, Andre? Call in, brother. I think Theo speaks highly of you, Andre. So if you can call in, Andre, that'd be great. Ian, appreciate that, bro. Let me unmute you. So, bro, just finish your last point, bro. I need to move on to the next caller, brother. I'm sorry, bro.
Yeah, my last point was like here in Canada, the rules are for the woman. Once you live with a woman, common law, or you're married, guys, you're screwed. They're good until they have one kid. Once they have one kid, they start changing because if you leave, that kid is money. That kid
Yeah.
is money. You know
It's
what
the
I mean?
same anywhere in the West, bro. UK, America, women out here playing some crazy games. Just don't wipe up any chick in the West. But thank you for that, Ian. Thank you, bro. Let me move on to Sean Davis. Oh, go on, Tony.
I want to say this goes directly to the point that the woman is either finessing the government or finessing the man. And this is the big problem. So if you look at a Western woman and say, I want to make 3 kids with you, and I want to have a happy family with you, and I want to support the kids all the way through university and have prosperity, first she was like, no way, because I only need 1 kid to start finessing. And then 3 kids is oppression. And once you start saying that, you need to flee. You need to flee anyway. But really, you need to flee. But I tell you this, you tell a woman from like Ukraine, Russia, Thailand, Brazil, Colombia, that you want 3 kids and you're going to stay with her no matter what, no matter how big and fat she becomes. You want 3 kids and you just want to be with her. She sits there and smiles and she's like, I'm available for the next date. Like, the schedule just cleared up. Would you like to talk with me again? Like, that's her attitude. And you can talk to her about kids all day long. So that's because she's not trying to finesse you. So, guys, remember that point, because there's some evil women in the West. Utterly horrible. They're just, again, under bridges, die alone. That's what they deserve.
Yeah.
Thanks for that, Theo. Mr. Sean Davis, how you doing, brother?
What's up, Sean? Just up the street, baby. What's going on?
What's up, bro?
All right. I'm doing good, bro.
Nice seeing your face again, bro.
See you up in
Texas.
brother.
Texas in the house, big bro.
Good to have you here, Sean.
Thanks, brothers. It's good seeing you.
Sean, we got the Victorian live stream in a couple of weeks' time, bro. I'll reach out to you to set up a new date and time, bro. I didn't know you went free this week. I apologize for that, bro.
Oh, that's okay.
Forward. Thank you, bro. Brother, do you want to chime in on this conversation, bro, regarding the live stream topic? I know you may want to speak about Canada as well, bro, but it's up to you, brother.
Everybody got their own experience, and that's his personal experience. To say that to throw Canada in with the States, it's inaccurate. Like I said, I've been here 22 years. The Canadian system and the court system is not like the U.S. court system. It's not designed to throw men under the bus and rake their money. Okay, their system, even when you go to jail, it's a burden on the system. Okay, it's a financial burden on the system. They would rather you have out of jail and have you to be rehabilitated, and then when it comes to child support, the courts here are actually for the concern for the kids. Now, I know they say that in the States, but here it's followed through. Okay. Not only that, they have a system here. If the man is financially burdened, he can go before the courts and file a financial burden assessment. The judge will look at that and make an adjustment. Now, are there issues here? Yeah. But the Canadian system is not like the U.S. system. I hear a lot of people just loosely run out and say, well, they do the same thing. Yeah, you're going to have some girls out there doing that here. But then again, at the same time, Canada is not like the USA. Okay? And you're going to have some folks that are going to have some bad experiences. Vancouver is the #1 city for the most expats in the world here. They got 198,000 people from the United States that live here. And it's ranked #3 in the world as it's expensive here. I'm not saying every city's got their own issues, okay? Every city has got their own issues, but it's ranked #3 as far as with not the cost of living, but what they call it, living, the lifestyle, the level of lifestyle here.
Most livable city. Yeah.
Yes, it's the most. It's ranked #3 in the world out of all the cities that it was ranked #3. Okay, so that tells you something here. A lot of families from all over. It's expensive here, but a lot of families from all over the world, if they don't want to go to states, they come here to Canada. Okay, they come here and they raise their families. Like I said, I've been here 22 years. All the brothers that I know here, and I know a lot of brothers here. I know brothers from New York, Alabama, Tacoma, Seattle, California. I know some ex-football players in the NFL, CFL. They all married to Canadian women, and they still married to them. So yes, you can find it. Like I said, if you want to find some crazy job, you can. The stuff that you brothers are going through in the States is at a pro level. Now, if you want to find that job crap here in Canada, it's at JUCO level, junior college level, everywhere else in the world. You see what I'm saying? It's at JUCO level. So game recognizes game. And I'm going to tell you something. No offense to any other brothers. Women here can tell an American brother.
They can tell. They can tell.
African brother.
Yeah.
Let J-Bond, let him finish, J-Bonds. Karen, bro.
They can tell the difference. There's a difference. Most of the brothers that I know that come from the States, they kill it here. They wind up getting them a female here. Now, I don't know how far they're going to carry that relationship, whether they're just here to clown or whether they're here. The brothers that I know, they left the States. They married. They got kids. You know what I'm saying? I had one partner of mine. He from New York. He was in the military. I don't know how he brought his African-American wife up here. I think he was on a special work visa because he was in the military, and he wound up getting a job here, I think with the Transport Canada, I guess, through some kind of military contract, but he still wound up getting a job here, and he brought his wife. She left him. She took the kids and went back to the States, and then she tried to file child support on him in the States, but they couldn't do anything because he left the United States, so the courts can't reach outside of that. But I remember the time he left. White girl scooped in. White lady scooped in. She got him. She scooped right on in. She taking care of him. And that was a low point in his life. And that's just one of the things. I got plenty of brothers that have dated Canadian women, and they still married to these Canadian women. So you can find them if you want East Indian, and there's some feminine ones. Yeah, you got some job ones. You got a lot of Asians out here too. So it's up to you, and especially for like brothers who are trucking, this is a great place. You can live in Canada and work, make your money down in the States. So it's up to you how you want to do it. And yes, I got some intel on Victoria. Victoria is a much smaller town, much slower pace. But the few brothers that I saw there, I saw 5 brothers. I talked to them. Out of them, 3 of them were dating Asian women. So it's yeah. And 3 of them were dating, and one of them I was at. My daughter's going to college there. And on the floor she was at, one of the brothers dating an Asian girl there, and so it's a lot of good stuff happening. But like I said, everybody's got their own experience, and I'm not going to refute Ian's experience because that's his choice and his experience. And it's unfortunate. There's a lot of good women here in Canada. Okay, fine. He's not interested in it. Okay, that's cool. But I'm not gonna tell brothers don't come up here because all these hoes these hoes ain't no good. I ain't gonna tell you that. You come up here and you make a judgment for yourself. Okay, you find out for yourself. This may not be what you want. This may not be your cup of tea. Japan may be your cup of tea. Go do that. Do your research. You brothers, when you carry yourselves out here, always remember, and I'm a stickler for it. Man, you control your own image out here. You are in control of your image, regardless of where you go. So embrace that culture, learn the language of what the culture, learn the culture of how people do. That is the foothold. and let all of them player haters and KS and everybody else on YouTube on the plantation run their mouth. But you guys are showing receipts and do the footwork out here. That's all I got to say, brothers.
Yo, thanks for that, Sean Davis. Go on, Theo.
Japan is mochi, not a cup of tea. It's mochi.
Mochi.
I mean, sometimes it's tea, but actually it's mochi. So
Yeah, mochi.
sorry.
All right.
Hey, Sean, I'll see you up in Vancouver in January, brother. I'll be up there, man. You know, I'm in the Seattle area, so I'm just down the street. I try to get up to Vancouver twice a year, man, but with this pandemic. But we're going to have a conference, and we'll talk about this when the stream is over. We having a conference up there, man. So basically all it's going to be is all the brothers getting together and we're going to call it a conference.
You know, Sean Camp's coming up here in January, right?
Huh?
Sean Camp's coming up here in January.
Yeah, Camp, Derek Taylor, me.
Yeah,
we all gonna get together, brother, and we just gonna call it the conference. We starting the IP, the International Passport Conference, man. And Theo got
the border's opening up. I'm gonna find out some more information. The U.S. is opening up the border now for Canada, so there's gonna so it's gonna be open crossing. I think that's gonna be here in the next 48 hours, 72 hours. So I just heard that on the news, so that's gonna be wide open. I do, as of right now, just keep this in mind. I don't know if this is going to be available in January, if they're going to change it, but you guys might have to do a PRC test, you know, the mouth test, within 72 hours before you get into Canada. That's the rule.
We got that in effect now. Yeah.
Okay. That's why it might change. I don't know. So I just put that out there for you, brothers.
Hook me up on Facebook, brother. Hook me up on Facebook, man.
Okay.
You have to be vaccinated also.
Yes, you gotta be vaccinated.
Yeah.
Right. Thanks for that, brothers. Sean Davis, I want to hear your point as to, because we've done a stream together about Vancouver women before, and you mentioned that the feminine, they're on brothers' plans. But Sean Davis, can you speak about your experience in dealing with your first feminine woman? Did you deal with your first feminine woman in Canada? Was it in America? Was it in a different country? And how did that actually change your perception as to how you acted towards feminine women? Was it a shock to you? Speak on that, Sean Davis.
I got two instances. In the States, in high school, hey, I was all-American football player at Carter High School. If anybody know about that movie Friday Night Lights? The all-black team? That's me, okay? All-American football player, didn't get no play from the sisters, okay? No play, all right? Because you got to understand, back then, during that time, everybody stayed with everybody. So sisters wasn't competing for their men. So you fell on down the line, okay? It wasn't until I went to college, started playing ball, I met this, I got injured. I met this nurse. She was from Palermo, Italy. Her name was Maria Lascano. That was my first time experiencing a feminine, classy woman. You know, she was different. Okay, I lost my virginity to that girl, and that it was never the same. When I went back to the hood, and when I went back to see parents, I didn't have a desire to talk to them sisters after that. That was 1987. All right, 88. I was like, you know, I wanted more of that. Okay, that was my first experience of feminine woman. And so I gravitate toward feminine women. And I'm like, that abrasiveness, that loudness from them sisters, what they do, man. You know, baby, but now you didn't, honey, girl. You know, I don't like you. Ain't you crunched? All that stuff, man. That's a big turnoff. Big turnoff for me. And then here in Canada, I experienced the feminine women here. I experienced it was a Persian girl, and that was before I had met my wife. This Persian girl, and in the States there are not very many Persian women. Okay, so I'm thinking she's Spanish or something. I'm like, what are you? She's no, I'm Persian, and we went on a date and stuff, and she was just very, very proper. She wanted to pay for the date, and I thought that was strange. I'm like, okay. She was adamant about it. No, I'm gonna do it. You know, you're here in the country. I'm gonna take care of you. And so it's intoxicating, bro. That's the only thing I can tell you. If you're a masculine man and women like masculine men, well, then masculine men like feminine women, and it's very intoxicating. Yes, you find them here.
Damn, the legend himself, Sean Davis, has told you. You know, how it rolls down in Vancouver and his experiences with dealing with his first feminine chick in America and in Canada. It's crazy, brothers, you know. Thank you, Sean, for that. Shout out to Volcanus for the $10 super chat. He says, salute IP, panel and chat. Salute to you too, Volcanus, brother. Thank you for the support. Much appreciated, brother. Did you want to say something, Tony? I think you.
Yeah. I was gonna say, man, that I like what Sean said about Canada. You know, I go back and forth on that. You know, I've been running Canada, man, since '92. And so, you know, I used to go up there on the weekends, man, run out the women and stuff like that up in Vancouver. You know, it's the thing is this, man, is like you said, you can find them anywhere. You know, I got a guy out there going through some crap right now. I guess there's a sexual assault, a woman trying to put on him. And, you know, Canada, there's no statute of limitation on sexual assault. So they left a little bad taste in my mouth for a minute because this woman coming out of the blue saying he did this and he did that when I know he's not that kind of guy. He's a good looking guy. He don't need to be doing that to these females. But still, so that left a little bit of a bad taste in my mouth, but that's only one thing. But what I can say is, look, I know it's always nice to go up there. I love going to Vancouver, man. My son loves it. He's only 8 years old. I keep looking at him like, you're going to really like it when you get 20. You know what I mean? You know? And I want to say to the brothers, man, you know, I love it because, see, I'm married to a Japanese woman for 14 years. So I fell in love with it from day one because they get Asian women everywhere, man. I got that fetish. I can't just shake that fetish off me. They're everywhere, man. Chinese, Korean, Japanese, Persian, you name it. They got them, and they friendly. And that's the difference between the States and Canada. I mean, I know sometimes I like to even admit it, put the Canada in with the U.S., but then I got to remember, well, wait a minute. Canada really isn't the U.S. It's just that I haven't been there in a while, so I forget how nice a place that really is. You know, those women are friendly. They take better care of their bodies. I know that for a fact. They take much better care of their bodies. I live in the Seattle area where we supposed to have good-looking women. Honestly, I don't see that many good-looking females around here. I see a bunch of fat white girls up in Seattle. Yeah, up here, literally do. And a bunch of fat white BWs is what I see. The only ones around here that are skinny are the ones from Africa and Asia. Okay? And these women walking out here with purple hair, tattoos all on their body, and in the jammies down there and expecting you, and don't even care if you don't give them. I give women compliments sometimes. They look at me like, what did you just say? Oh, so I start giving them compliments.
Yeah.
So Sean, stay there, man. Don't come back, brother. Don't you come back, man. Don't mess it up.
Seattle back in '98, man. That was a good era. I left on a high note back in '98. The Seattle.
Yeah, the '90s was nice. The '90s in Seattle was nice.
And then, you know, I would come up to Vancouver when they used to have the Vancouver Most and Indy races. They had a couple partners play for the BC Lions up here, right?
Yeah, BC Lions.
Yeah, we come up here and hang out with them, and that's how I met my wife, man. You know, and you know, at that time, man, she was 20 when I met her. I was like, yeah, I like I said, I took her back to the States, and them brothers was like, man, where you get her from? Right across the border, man. What you talking about? I was like, I wasn't even looking for her when I found her. She come finding me, you know. So I was like, okay. Well, you know, like I said, I made it work, and you know, from here I travel around from this country, and you know, it like Tony was saying, you know, you brothers, man, y'all stay focused, get disciplined, okay? You guys, I mean, I'm gonna tell y'all something right quick, IP. I'm not gonna take too long on this, man. My heart goes out to you brothers in the States. I saw this coming in the '90s. Okay, that's why I wanted out then. I got out. I saw this coming in the '90s. I'm tired of being right. Everything that y'all going through, I saw coming. And I'm like, I'm out. Because my dad started showing me some things, all right? And I couldn't understand it, what he was telling me at my age about black folk garbage in, garbage out mentality. And he was saying that back in the '80s, and he was adamant about it. And then now I understand what he's talking about. Now that I'm out and I'm seeing what you brothers are going through, and it's like, man, you know, my heart go out to you. That's why I'm saying, you guys get focused. You know what? When Tony and Derek and Sean come up here, I'm going to write on a whiteboard processes that you guys can do getting out of the country. Okay. Now, I'm going to do the processes of what you can do, and then you have to make that decision on which country you want to go to, whether it's Japan, because I already know Theo and Tony have already told you what you need to do, but coming out with a blueprint of what you need to do starting right now. If you're serious, okay, because I know you guys, you young cats, y'all want to play and have your little females and smash and then go back to the States, but it ain't getting no better in the States. You see what I'm saying? So you can keep smashing stuff, but you still gonna keep going into an environment that keep getting worse and worse and worse and worse. So if you want to get out of that environment, then you guys need to start planning. You need to start changing your mind. You need to start being disciplined. Okay, hey, I ain't going out no more. If I do, I'm going out to the park or I go, and you're focusing. I'm not going out partying. I'm not going out drinking and kicking and stuff like that. Everything I'm doing, I'm focusing for the step. That's what I did. When I was in Seattle, I was like, I would look at the airplanes getting ready to come in, landing in the Vancouver. I'd be looking up, and I said, man, soon I'm gonna be across that border.
Yeah, YVR, baby, YVR.
YVR. That's right. I was like, I see them planes coming in, and I see them mountains, and I said, man, soon. And I kept that focus, and I had to work in. I was working in downtown. I was working for Amazon at the time when there was an ebook company, and I just kept saying, you know what? I just knew it's something else for me. I gotta go this route. And so all right, I'm rambling on, man. That's a rant. I'm done. You guys take it.
Thanks for that, Sean Davis, man. Thank you, bro. Shout out to Random Inc. for the $5 super chat. He says, "Are Korean women still feminine even with K-pop influence?" I don't know what to say to that question.
Yes, they are. I can answer that, man. Of course, man. Korean women, man, look, I dated a lot of Koreans. I lived in Korea for a year, man. And I tell you what, they're very independent females. Okay. The thing about them is they like to do things on their own, but you got to maintain your frame with them. If you lose that frame, they're going to run over you. That's what it is. You got to maintain that frame, man. You can never, not once, because remember now, Korea is a Confucius country. They believe in Confucius. Confucius say that's true in Korea. So if you're in an argument with them, and if you one day older than them, they consider you to be right. That's it. It's over. So, like I said, once you get ahead and you playing the man, stay the man. Never simp up. You simp up, you're gonna be done. They're gonna eat you like tater chips.
Thanks for answering that question, Tony. Shout out to the real Black Ula for the $5 super chat. He says, "Our international passport, Jay Takashi looks like Ghostface Killer from the Wu-Tang Clan." I used to bump his albums back in the day, man. Only
he does look a little bit like Ghostface Killer. I like that, yeah.
Hey, you brothers know about Only Beat for Cuban Links? Back
Give
in
me
the day,
10, brother. I'm
Wu-Tang,
gonna read this book to my son. I'll be right back, brothers.
That Wu-Tang Clan albums, man. I used to bump them heavy back
Wu-Tang Clan, shout out to that, man. I still listen to that music.
Shout out to the bro Black Cuda. Thank you, bro. Okay. Thanks for that, brothers. You want to say something, Tony? Theo? You've been I think Tony, you want to say something, Theo?
No, I get. So basically, at my conference I'm having in Atlanta, I'm going to have an international passport section, and I will be discussing also very concrete plans about how brothers can go abroad, but be realistic, because a lot of these guys are not realistic about going abroad. They're talking about various goals and they're talking about various financings, and I'm like, well, if things go south, if you have a problem, what's your backup plan? What are you going to do? Because you're abroad. Well, how are you going to deal with that? And these guys don't have a clue. So I'm going to be honest and give them various solutions that are necessary in order to go abroad and be successful there. But, honestly, you're going to be dating a few women. You're not going to get off the plane and, the first one, there's a unicorn right there. No, I don't think so. It'll take a while. You date a few, they fail, and but you'll get better in another relationship, and then you'll get one, and then maybe you can bring her back, or maybe you're still there. So, how does that really work? People need to be aware. I see what you're saying about Canadian women. I'm like, I have no more tolerance. I won't even do Dooku level feminism. I'm like, it's gone, or like I don't even engage. I don't even talk. But you're right. Canadian women are not as bad, but no, won't engage. Nope. I respect you what you say. I'm not gonna argue with you. I just won't go for
Phil,
it. It's not gonna happen.
Phil's not dating any type of Western woman. He's sworn off them.
Well,
So.
you know what? If I go to Japan, I'll probably be the same way. I've never been, but I got a couple buddies married a Japanese woman. She's sweet. She really is. I'm impressed with her. We talk, we laugh and stuff, and she's faithful. I can tell she's faithful. She's a good face. She's pretty too. Small girl. She's small and petite, but I was like, yeah, he got him a good woman. They live over here. Sometimes I go back. He was teaching English over there in wherever they're from. I think it was outside of Tokyo, but he was teaching English for a few years, and they came back here. He's got kids and stuff. They're in school now, but if they're any bit like that, yeah, I could see why you like no, now any kind of Western woman, because the femininity from the Japanese women is just it's unmatched, man.
Yeah, it's really off the charts. So you get like Ukrainian, Czech, pretty much the same thing. Some South American. I'll give J Bones, Colombia, and Brazil. I'll be nice. Venezuela. I'll be nice to you.
Yeah, there's a lot of Venezuelan women here, man. There's a lot of Latinas here, so you got the Latinas. I got a good friend of mine who's a brother. He's from France. He left France to move here. He's marrying a friend of mine, my homegirl. He's marrying her. She's from Mexico City, but she's been here a while. Like I said, man, there's a lot of folks from all over the world. It's time for me to pack them up after this COVID thing is start rolling again. But yeah, I do need to go east though. I ain't been east, and like I said, I don't understand. Theo, you understand the Asian culture. I don't get it. I don't know because I grew up not being around them. Like I said, I'm from Dallas. At the time I was growing up, there wasn't very many Asian folks, so it's hard for me to gauge them. How are they attracted to me? See, that's a whole different ball game for me. I can see it from the white girls. I can see it from Middle Eastern or the Latinas, but the Asian girl, for me, I ain't gonna lie to you, I'm stumped. I don't get it.
You just have to have a pulse. So that's pretty easy. It's not that hard.
That's
a pulse.
Yeah, that's Theo's excuse for everything. You gotta have a pulse, man. You gotta have a pulse.
How strong does my pulse have to be, Theo?
Just be a brother that pulse.
It doesn't have to be that strong. It can be a pretty weak pulse. Yeah. I mean, what
if I'm a vampire? Vampires are half dead, Theo. So are they going to be able to be good or?
Japanese girl probably think about it for a second and say, "Oh, don't show no." And they're just like, I think that's because he's kind of cute, right? He's kind of cute. Okay, those will come day. She's like, okay, bite me, and she'd just be with you anyway. She'd become half vampire with you, and you guys would be sucking each other. That's the way it works. That's how a Japanese woman is. She likes you. She'd just go vampire with you. Wouldn't be a problem. I mean, it's kind of funny, but yeah, it's me reading Asian women was pretty simple because they were always giving me the look. I got it all the time. So that's how I understood that my wife wanted to marry me. And she was like, "How did you know?" And I said, "You gave me the look the entire time. From the first 10 minutes I met her, she just gave me the look." And I was like, this is gonna happen. So anyway, it's not hard. You have to go to Asia. You have to go do it. But the thing is this, Sean, if you were in Japan, there are so many white women there who have no attention at all, that like they have no attention. Nobody talks to them. That if you were walking down the street and if you can read the white women, well, apparently you can, you would start picking them up faster than you would pick up Japanese. Because they're definitely, the white women in Japan are definitely checking for brothers. 100%.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Yeah, they are those.
Whoa.
Yeah,
Whoa, hold on. Wait. Hold on for a second. Yeah, Theo, you never told us about that. I didn't even know there was
he
any white
sure
women in
didn't. He
Japan.
opened a whole new can of worms, bro.
Yeah,
Yo,
Theo, you never told us any. You never said anything about that, Theo. Now, Theo, you got to start talking. Tony and Theo,
Yeah,
let's get
Tony
going, bro.
Theo.
No, I mentioned that before. I mentioned the white women before in Japan. I mentioned the foreign women in Japan. I did mention that in some streams before.
Yeah.
Those women are hot.
I think Tony did mention some Russian women. Am I? You said Russian women, right, Tony?
Yeah.
No. I Australian, New Zealand, Canadian,
American.
Those women, American, they're open season. They are desperate, fellas. Trust me.
Desperate. Most of those women don't even get a handhold the entire time while they're in Japan. No eye contact, not a hug. So
No.
if you're saying like, hey, what McDonald's, she would say yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
If the wind, man, that thing again, your stuff will stand up. If the wind blow, their stuff is standing up on their chest already. Trust me. These women are serious, man. They are like,
Wow.
I had women at work, they would come up to me and say, hey, so you're going to come to my house after work, right? Just out of the blue. I'm like, no, I wasn't planning on to it. I got these Japanese waiting for me. What are these
So wait, not even Japanese guys are checking for these white chicks. So why is that for you and Tony? Is it because obviously Japanese women are a lot more good looking than white women in Japan by far. Is that why? I'm guessing. Yeah.
They're just beautiful. It's like they smell good. You know, it's like they act better, and they're there. Look, most women are going to act better than any other woman in their own country because that's their surroundings. What does a Vietnamese or Singaporean know about Japan that more than the Japanese girl? She don't know where all the nice restaurants are. She don't know where the nice hangout spots are. She don't know where the love motels are that she might be able to take me to. They don't know nothing about that. You know, and they can't charm you. It's just the Japanese girls they're just beautiful, man. It's just you're just there, and they just make you feel that you know you're a man when you're with them. You just know you're a man.
And this is why I'm part of this feature right here, because we've already experienced it for the most part. I just had interactions when I was in high school. Just notice that, like, imagine what they're like at their own place. From what Tony and freaking Theo are saying, like it's a paradise for brothers. It seems like, and I'm like, dude, you want peace? I think an Asian woman gives you peace. I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah. Jay, you want to know what's up with that, man? If I could tell you on this, here's the thing, and Theo gonna laugh when I say this too, but I know you're gonna laugh, brother. When the Western women get over there, you know what they do? They start acting like Japanese girls. They do. I'm serious. You see the white girls with the kimonos and the bowing and the they do anything they can to get a man. They'll even ask Japanese brothers. Trust me, they will.
Yo, listen. They had their chance when it was in America. They can't start doing that now. That's wild.
No, I'm serious.
Yeah, I'll give you a story about this. So I was teaching English. Remember the summer of '99? I was teaching professional business offices, right? And there were two English teachers who were female in the group of English teachers, and they were both talking about how they would date anyone. They haven't dated anybody in a long time, and they are definitely available. There's like 10, 12 men in that room. Nobody talked to her. They all heard it, and we were like, so what? We don't care. Like, we just kept on going. And like they were openly saying, but basically they were saying, like, I'll date you and I'll sleep with you. Like, just take me out. And we're like, nope.
Nope.
Because why? Because we got Japanese women, and we got Thai backups, we got Chinese potentially. We got Taiwanese, we got Filipinas. Yes. Why would we date you?
Why do we want them? Like, I went to work one day, man, and this lady was sitting in the office, right? Because I worked in the school in the internet where we had French teachers, German, Spanish, right? This French girl was sitting in there by herself, and I just walked in there. I was the second one in there, right? Man, this girl, and I'm gonna keep it PG. This girl was so horny, man, that when I walked in there and she saw me, I swear, I'm serious, brother. My nose is strong. I'm sorry. I was like, are you serious? That's how bad it was. If she'd have stood up, she'd have had a wet spot on that. I mean, man, she was that's how desperate these girls are, bro. Trust me.
Them thermals must have been strong as I don't know what.
Yes, because I was like,
Like to see that French Open.
Yep, I know.
Mhm.
I mean,
Wow.
on the same way, we had this one girl named Sue who was from England, and I kind of talk to you guys about it. She had a Barbie figure. She had at least a C, a D cup, blonde, 23 years old, blue eyes. She was smoking hot. You would think for sure she would get some. She went 1 full year without anyone holding her hand. No dates, nothing. That's because every single time a Western guy saw her, he'd be interested, and then he'd see Japanese women gone. It totally appeared. She disappeared from his eyes. And she said she didn't know what to do. And there was another girl, I remember her name was Sarah. She was Canadian. She was, Dutch background? Hot. She was totally hot. I mean, she was like total wife material. She had to resort to dating Japanese guys and actually asking them out and begging them to go out with her. And I was like, I feel sorry for you, man, but okay, that's just the way it is. But, I'm like, in our own countries, you would expect me to simp for you. Here, tough. I have options. I'm gone. I'm not even going to deal with you.
You see them, they do go out with the Japanese guys, and they don't want to be with the Japanese guys. I knew this girl from New Zealand, and she was beautiful. She was half like the Maui, the islander people that's near New Zealand, and white. And this girl was beautiful. And I still remember her to this day. But I was in relationships, man. I was going to try to get with her because she was that fine. She ended up marrying a Japanese dude, which in the Western world, if you're in Japan to a woman, that's like being low on the totem pole, brother. That's like marrying a Venezuelan when you're in Colombia. They are not the most sought after male over in Japan. They are the least. Even the women don't want to marry them. So yeah. So they're that desperate.
Yeah, that's exactly correct. Yep.
Shout out to Volcanus for the $5 super chat. Said, "Told you, Western women are invisible out of the matrix." Yep,
That's
Theo
facts.
Antonio proving that. Facts.
Tony and Theo are advocate of this, and Sean Davis too. Like seriously,
they're in for a huge awakening when they go abroad, man. UK and America are saving these women when they travel. It's a different experience for them, and good.
Yes,
that's why you want to get one of them, because when they come back to their own countries, they're better. They change. But
yeah, I told the sister that she running her mouth talking about going down to Brazil. I said, good luck with that, because you went for a rude awakening.
Yeah,
she really is.
And I know I have a lot of Brazilian friends here from Brazil, because they used to. A lot of them school here, and they immigrate here, and they work. And the Brazilians are very resourceful. And I know a lot of girls from Rio. They take it and say, you went for a rude awakening when you get down there. You think that you're gonna go down there and get turn some heads? When you see that the whole culture, and you see this, and in Brazil is nothing like America, and they don't speak English there. They all speak Portuguese. You got to know. You have to know a little Portuguese to get around there. And those are straight facts. That's some bad females though.
So Sean, you saying that 5'2", 280-pound BW go down to Brazil, she ain't gonna have a chance?
She ain't gonna have a chance, man. Like two fat MS man fighting over pork chops and greens.
Damn, you're going in. God damn.
You mean she can stand on the Sugar Mountain and twerk and nobody will still go after her?
No, it won't. You twerk on that mountain will crumble. It won't be there no more. It'll be a bag of sugar, not sugar load.
Hey, damn. Hey, Sean Davis. Hey, shout out to Sean Davis, man.
Man, I go hard in the paint on
damn.
them, but you know what? They gonna listen. I had a talk with my mom about it. She was upset at the fact, I don't know why you want to go out there and be dating these other women. You got sisters. You know what I told my mom? We had this conversation a while back. And I told my mom, I said, Mom, what happened to them sisters in your era in the 60s?
Yeah. Yes.
I said, if we had them sisters in your era, I said, I wouldn't be out here. I said, but they long gone. They don't exist no more.
Remember when we were kids, bro? The sisters used to have on the tight jeans. Remember the bodies back in the 70s? You turn your head every time you walk out your house. Like, I was a little boy. I was like, oh, You know, you don't see
Dude,
that
here,
now.
man, I see my homeboy's mama say, "Damn, man, your mama fun."
Yeah, you're right. They say that. Not anymore. You know how
No.
you can tell a BW, American BW, from anybody else? The African BWs are the only ones in America that are skinny. The rest of them are fat. That's how I can tell the difference.
Shout
Yeah,
out to
cheeseburgers.
Yeah.
shout out
Just
to
fast.
Talking Crazy 88 for the $2 super chat. Thank you, brother, for that. Much appreciated for the support. Shout out to Sean Camp for the $4.99 super chat. IP, you brought out the big guns. IP, you brought out what's going on? IP, you brought the big guns out tonight. Sean Davis, along with Theo and Tony, straight flames. Thank you, bro.
Legendary.
Legendary live stream, man. Oh, sorry, carry on, Sean Camp. I cut you off there. Sorry, brother. Sean Davis. Sorry, bro.
Yeah. So having that conversation and looking at where it's at, the black community is done. It's done. And you know what angers me? It ticks me off is the fact that there are other black folk that will tell us, well, you know, you just need to just get the pail, the bucket, and keep bailing out the Titanic. The Titanic sunk.
It's sunk.
It's sunk. It's done. It's over with. So now, you know, me being a pro-black, all of that stuff. I love my black people. Don't get me wrong. I love my black
we
culture.
do. That's why we up here. We
American
do.
culture. I love music because of the music that we have created in America. Man, listen, we created everything in America except for country and classical. And I think country's even questionable at that. But you see,
You created
and there's a
classical
lot
too.
of
Beethoven was black. Yeah.
okay. So see, we've created a lot of stuff. But one thing I'm not gonna be race loyal if it's detrimental to my life and to my seed. I'm just not gonna go that far.
Was
I'm
I
sorry.
talking about that earlier, brothers? I was
Yeah.
talking about that earlier. Yep.
I'm just not gonna go there. I'm sorry. Well, you know, you just keep kicking them cow patties over, you're gonna find a diamond. No, you're not. You find a diamond. You don't find diamonds kicking cow patties, man.
You
Okay?
found cow crap is what you find.
Thank you. That's what you find. And you keep but they expect you to keep kicking it over, and yet what you want, you know, you keep kicking it. Oh man, I can't find nothing. I mean, you know what? I mean, how much longer are you gonna keep putting up with that? These men out here, they want some quality women. They want feminine women. They want things in order the way God has made it in order. God made us to be men. We're hunters. We go out, we build. He's made the woman to have the nesting nature. A helpmate is what she is. That is her role.
Yeah.
That's like telling a bird to be a dog. You can't tell a bird to be a dog. But the black women, the B-dubs, that's what they want to do. I want to do what I want to do. So you know what I say? Okay, fine. That's between you and God. You want to defy his order? I'm gonna keep it moving. I'll go somewhere else, go outside the country, and keep it moving and find somebody who wants to fit like a Lego puzzle. You put that together, man.
See, the image I got of a man is, you know, how you see the brothers down there with the big hats in the Caribbean walking around like big men, strong men. That's the image of men. The big man, the big daddy hat, and you know, and this woman right next to him, like damn near half his size. Because ain't no woman supposed to be bigger than you. Your woman is not supposed to be bigger than you. She ain't supposed to be weighing no more than you. You supposed to be able to pick her up, right? But you got guys walking around. You see the one we put in the group with the brother with the woman with all the foes, and he's standing behind her, and she got more foes than I don't know what.
Man, you can roll her in some flour and find a wet spot.
You can roll, right. You got to roll in some flour. And I'm like, and this brother's with her. Like, are you serious?
You I don't know whether to get seasick looking at her, or looking at the ocean. Which one is it?
Yeah, and they simping hard.
You know, that happened to my brother. That happened to my brother in 1992. I'll never. We talk about it to this day. My brother married a college mate of mine, and I knew her and her mother. Her name was I'm not gonna say her name, but anyhow, it was a white girl. She's very beautiful. My brother was in the Navy. When he got back from the Gulf War, they met. She instantly fell in love with my baby bro. They got married. Okay, I was over at a friend's house. A buddy of mine and my brother came over and we was out, you know, we were drinking a few beers and stuff and talking. and his brother that lived like across the condo from us, he came over talking to us. Now I can tell he one of them old school Razzie style brothers, hey, hey, like that and stuff. He coming up talking to us. You need to sometimes you just need to, sometimes get away from your wife, and you just gotta, sometimes dip and get you a little something, something. Me and my brother looking at him like, man, what you talking about dipping? Well, man, sometimes, you gotta go get you a little prostitute, and have your little fun and stuff like that, even when you married. And me and my brother looking at him like, man, what? And my brother like, man, I ain't gonna try to do that with my wife. I said, he goes, I can get that at home. I don't need to go out and go do that. And so we were trying to figure out what we was trying to say. And my brother's wife came and said, I'm going to the store, and gave my brother a kiss. And that brother went off on my brother. Man, you think you all that? You think you a Mac? You think, you all here fronting like you doing all that? Me and my brother looking at him like, say, man, you need to calm down.
Yeah.
This big, fat, greasy sister had to be in about 5 feet tall, 9 feet wide, got in the back of this doggone taxi cab. And she said, Henry, bring your ass on over here now. Excuse my friend. Bring your butt over here now. Yeah, I got to go, Mom. And then I said, say, man, that's your wife? Yeah, man. I said, okay, now they explain everything why you. I couldn't believe it, man.
That was Big Shirley. That was Big Shirley.
Big Shirley.
And you know what? I have ran into brothers that have gotten married to black women that they hated, but they married them because they felt they was obligated, it was the right thing to do, and they regretted doing it. And I'm like, I ain't gonna be that brother. I'll take
you remember what that brother An said about that dude that got in trouble with that woman up in Canada that's in the wheelchair now?
Yeah.
That's what happened when you simp. You end up losing your whole health.
Yeah, man. That's unfortunate, bro. That's really unfortunate. And yeah, you're right. Up here they don't have a what do you call it? They don't have the statute of limitation. Like, when I heard the story, I'm like, I'm not gonna question nothing with the brother. I'm just like, yeah, that's unfortunate. I do say that up here, Canadian make these Canadian girls feel comfortable, because up here, Tony, I lived in Seattle. Up in the Northwest, you got a lot of pervs. Yeah, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Brothers like us, they ain't gonna mess with brothers like us. They see us, they ain't gonna touch us. All right, they ain't gonna mess with us. We are like the wolves in the forest. We the top predators.
He's right.
Other dudes are not gonna mess with us.
Brothers can walk down the street at midnight. They ain't gonna bother you up in the Northwest.
They ain't gonna bother you, man. They ain't gonna bother. They gonna look at you. I get it all day long. People be looking at, and I give them a smile. Like I said, I stay in the weight room, stay in the gym. I give people a smile, kind of calm them down, because there's like they don't see brothers from the States rolling around here, and they're like, get that look.
But the women like it.
Yeah, they do. They like the masculinity. They like the masculinity. And make them feel comfortable, because a lot of girls here, I had no idea, and I got a daughter, and I be praying y'all don't mess with my daughter around here, because if I find out, I'm not calling the police. I just ain't calling the cops. I'm sorry, I'm gonna get help myself, bro.
I respect you, Sean Davis. I have a similar mindset like you. It's very similar to my father's.
All right, thanks for this, brothers.
Right on.
This has been a great live stream. I'm going to end it. Almost 3 hours. It's been a great discussion. Thank you, Sean Davis, for calling in and chiming in on this. I will go to everyone for their last closing comment, starting with TCD. Are you there, bro?
Yeah, I'm here. Yeah, thanks for everything. My goal is actually to end up in Japan. You guys are basically preaching to the converted already. So yeah, I'll hit you guys up on Facebook, and it was nice listening to the chat. Sorry I didn't come more prepared with better questions.
No worries, bro. Thanks for that, TCD. Thank you, bro. Jay Takashi, do you have any last closing statements, brother?
I got a couple of statements. Sean Davis, Theo Wolf, Tokyo 64, you OG cats, I respect y'all a lot, man. Spending your knowledge to try to help brothers like us to try to uprise and not be below the totem pole, and help us to have healthy lives. I appreciate all your wisdom and knowledge. It means a lot to me. Thank you for everything.
Thanks, fam.
And to all brothers out here, listen, get your passports. I've been had mine for 3 years. You get yours now while you still can. We need this movement going around. And Theo, I will be in that conference in Atlanta, man. I'm only 3 hours away. So yeah.
Fantastic.
Right on.
I want to see you there. Good. Yep.
Fantastic. What nice one, Jay Takashi. Support Theo in that great conference. Tony also has one as well, Jay. So if you can reach out, if you can go to Vancouver in January. And
You got a conference in Vancouver with Sean Davis and those guys. Yep.
So, but Tony and Theo will explain more about their conferences at the end of the stream, so we can start getting more brothers aware of it. Jay Bones, do you have any closing statements, brother?
Yeah, man. IP, thanks a lot for having me. Shout out to Tony and Theo and the brother Jay. TCB, you're literally 1 hour and 45 minutes away from Costa Rica. So, brother, I don't know what you're complaining about. You need to get over there as soon as possible.
Well, that was actually why I was gonna ask the question. I don't have any money. I'm trying to get
Yeah,
my
well,
money
you can.
in,
I know, brother. So reach out to Theo as soon as possible in the Facebook group. And yeah, thanks for Tony. I'm glad Tony said that before. I'm getting a lot of messages on the Facebook group. When you guys send messages, please make sure you attach, your screen names to it. I don't know who Josh and Bob Johnson is. I don't know who Robert Smith is. I don't know who John Rambo is. So please tell me if your name is Kingu, if your name is Jay Takashi, if your name is Tokyo 64, because I've been getting some random people just sending me messages. So I'm glad Theo said that. I'm glad that Theo said that because that was kind of weird. Like I'm getting so many weird messages on the Facebook group, but yeah, TCD brother, I'm jealous, man. You live 1 hour and 45 minutes away from Costa Rica because you're over there in Jamaica. So please go to Montego Bay, hop on that plane, and head down to Costa Rica. But thanks a lot, brothers. Catch you guys later. Sean Davis, I noticed 30 minutes before that Theo was trying to sneak in Japan. Brother, don't let Theo convince you, man. You with me? We going down to Brazil real soon, okay? Don't let Theo be trying to give you a little bit of Japanese soup, man. I know how Theo is, man. You with me, brother? It's the Texas boys. We gotta stick together, man. Stay away from Theo, bro. Stay away from Theo. He gonna try to get you, man.
Wait, Theo, aren't you in Texas?
Yeah.
Nah,
I'm in Austin.
He's in. Yeah. Well, Theo is in Texas, but he's from Illinois originally.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
So what do you? Yeah, he's from Illinois. So Sean, I'm gonna hit you up later. I did not know this, but I just wanted to say I really respect that. I didn't know that you were part of the what do you call it, Friday Night Lights. I didn't know that. That's really cool, man. That's that's pretty cool, man. Thanks a lot for letting us know that, man.
We just grew up
What, the
playing
movie?
football, man.
The movie itself?
No,
or
he was
TV show.
No,
The
he's
team?
the movie. The school. The movie's based on Sean Davis. Sean Davis played on a team that they made the movie for.
Yeah, nice
Yeah,
one,
that's
Sean.
pretty
Carter High
classic.
School. Yeah, that was a high
Yeah.
school. That was a high school in Texas, and we did the Millen Odessa. They call them the Mojos.
Odessa.
Carter High
Yeah,
School
Odessa,
in
Texas.
Houston Yates.
Yeah.
We in the '80s. We were the powerhouse like football, man. That was
Yeah,
powerhouse.
man.
In the 80s in
Those were the
Texas.
days.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Texas
Thanks
is
for that.
football big in Texas, man.
Oh, big time.
They got high school stadiums look like regular NFL stadiums down there.
Look, they paying coaches 6-digit salaries, man, to coach football down there. That's a serious business. It's serious.
Thanks for that, Jay Bones. Sean Davis, do you have any closing statements, brother?
You know what, brothers? You young cats out there listening, I done walked a mile in your shoes. Okay, Tony walked a mile in your shoes. Theo done walked a mile in your shoes. And I'm saying this with love in my heart. You guys stay focused, all right? And don't give up, okay? Don't give up. I know some of you guys want to give up. I'm telling you, you don't give up, okay? You got a lot ahead of you, all right? As long as the good Lord keep giving you young brothers breath out there, y'all keep chugging. Keep your mind focused, all right? And stay keep your mind healthy too, all right? Like I said, if you getting some dark moments and stuff, I need to put my name out there on Facebook or whatever. Man, hit us up, okay? Because I know y'all catching hell out there on every angle, every corner. All right. So I'm just saying that. and just stay focused. All right.
Thank you, Sean Davis.
Thanks,
Great
bro.
last statement, brother. Let me go on to Theo WAF. Do you have any closing statements, brother?
But it was good. Guys, you know, you're gonna find a feminine woman out there, and it's gonna probably be outside the country. Well, yeah, that's the only place they really exist. So you need to be ready. You need to be able to identify what that kind of woman, how she acts, how she moves, and it's gonna be very surprising to you. And when you look back, you'll be like, "Why didn't I ever meet a woman like this before? What was wrong?" And you'll see why you have like people like me who've taken Crimson Capsule are so direct and so merciless in our descriptions, and we're like, yeah, we're done. We know what we're done with the Western women, and there's a reason why we talk the way we do, because we know how bad they are. So I say, guys, get your money up, get your act together, get your passports, go abroad, get a game plan, and make it happen. That's it for me.
Thanks for that. Thank you, Theo. Much appreciated, brother. Mr. Tony Berry, do you have any last closing statements, brother?
Yes, brothers. Yeah, like Theo said, man, get out of the country, man. Feminine, you're gonna find feminine women all over or outside this country. But one thing I do want to say that in the U.S. you can find some in North America. What I noticed, I'll tell you from my experience, the most feminine women in America are the Mexicans that live in the U.S. There are a lot of feminine Mexican women over here that's willing to do anything for a man, and they're very nice. They get overlooked. They really do get overlooked. There's some beautiful women. They're kind, you know, and they just want a good man to raise a family. So don't sleep on the Mexicans, because a lot of these women are Mexican descent. They got it going on. They just confused right now. Another thing I want to say about this is that we got the conference, and what I mean is this: I spoke to IP and Theo about this earlier, and you know, I spoke to Derek Taylor about it earlier in the day, and we said, look, we're going to Vancouver, man. We might as well, you know, conference. We're not going to rent no conference hall or nothing, but you know, the brothers just hanging out wherever we want to hang out, restaurant, wherever we get together. Then we just start conferencing with each other. That's a conference. And you know, when you go to a conference, guess what you get to do? You get to write that off. So what I want to say to brothers is this: I have an LLC. It's called John Berry Consultant Group here in Washington State. I named it after my second great grandfather, you know, the one that escaped slavery and joined the Civil War, to keep his name in the family. Look at your states, get an LLC. In Washington State, it only cost me $200 and $60 a year. And then when you get your LLC, get it all legal. That means you can do anything under the sun that's legal for your business. Wow. If you go out and you talk to your neighbor down the street about his yard, write that off. You consult about yard. You go talk to somebody up in, like I said, go to Vancouver, Japan, Brazil, write those trips off. That's what you going in on business. You going in for a conference. So we decided that we are going to have that conference up there, and we're going to get this thing blown up. Theo's got a conference he's going to tell you about going on in Atlanta. We ain't messing around, brothers. We taking this above and beyond, because we ain't going down, because everybody's trying to exterminate every black male in the West, and we ain't going to be exterminating. We ain't getting exterminated. We're going to multiply, get more of us out there. That's all I got to say on that.
Yes. Thank you for that, Mr. Tony Berry and Theo WAF. Good to have you brothers on my channel again. Tony and Theo will again be on my channel in 2 days' time, so Friday for them, to speak about clubbing in Japan, which is going to be a very interesting live stream. So if you're interested in going to Japan and clubbing, exploring the nightlife, to meet women, where to go to, how to navigate the clubbing scene, be on that stream on Friday. Tony and Theo will be heading that stream. I'm looking forward to it. So in the meantime, brothers, again, the Facebook group, if you're not a part of it, if you want to reach out to Theo and Tony and other high-value males in the Facebook group, yep, please join the Facebook group. Make sure you have an ABI of yourself, or else I will not accept you. I need to make sure I'm not accepting no trolls, and you're a human being. So make sure you put an ABI of yourself. After I accept you, you can change your ABI to some other weird ABIs you brothers are into. On that note, brothers, I'm also on Twitter as well, brothers. So I suggest you follow me on Twitter and send me a DM on there. I'll reach out to you back. I may call you on Twitter, but it's good to speak to my subscribers and my viewers. Last but not least, brothers, I'm also on Instagram. I post up updates on there, stories, videos, pictures. Follow me on Instagram. Send me a DM. I can call you through IG as well if needed. I'm there for you, brothers. And last but not least, brothers, here's a link to my Cash App. It's open 24/7. So when the stream ends, feel free to Cash App some donations to the channel and the international passport movement. It is growing, and I need your support. So please help out. It's 4:45 a.m. in the UK. I need to be off to bed now. It's pretty late. I want to say a huge thank you to everyone for taking part in this live stream. Look after yourself, brothers. Peace out, and I will see you, brothers, on my next stream. Thank you again, Tony and Theo. Shout out to Sean Davis, J Bones, TTD, and every other panel member. Thank you, brothers. See ya.
It goes-